later than usual. First thing on my mind is to say uh, Happy Christmas Eve to all of my heterodox um, brothers out there. And I hope tomorrow is going to be awesome for you. Whatever awesome is, I hope it's going to be that. Um, I mean, for me, believe it or not, December 25th is still a big day because of my family. I have a lot of family members that, still, you know, do December 25th and whatever. To me, it's not that big of a deal, but I mean, look, a party is a party, right? So, so I'm good with that. The title of this stream is Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangster, mainly because I was listening to a little bit of Ghetto Boys, um, because I had been watching Office Space the other day. And so I woke up the other day and I'm like, you know, let's let's listen to a little bit of Bushwick Bill and Scarface and what. Merry Christmas, James. Heading to the in-laws in a few minutes. Um, Merry Christmas to you too, homie. I hope you have a wonderful time with the in-laws and everything. Um, Fortunately for me, it's still over a week until Christmas. So when I celebrate Christmas, so I get to kind of relax a little bit, but may go to my in-laws for New Year's Eve because I celebrate New Year's Eve the same day everyone else does. But yeah, my Christmas is January 7th. But I do enjoy hanging out and partying with other people, but and I don't know if you've already left or not. If you have, well, just know I ended up catching your show, but after the fact, because I was asleep. I liked it, obviously. And so all I can say to you, Double D and crew, blessings, and I hope you get to your family safely and you have a wonderful time. So, yep. Double D, guys. In my opinion, one of the greats, really. Like, in a time when talking about role playing games and D&D and stuff like that is literally dying. Even Professor Dungeon Master saying that. You got Double D still making it happen, still making it an interesting thing to watch. So, more power to him, honestly. You know, I will probably be spending tonight. My wife went and got us some treats, uh, and we'll just hang out tonight. Well, you enjoy your week off, bro. You deserve it. You and the missus have a wonderful time. And, we'll see you when we see you, man. But I know you and the missus work your asses off all year long, so you go enjoy your time. Drink some eggnog if that's your thing. Play some board games. Do whatever you do, man. And we'll be waiting when you get back. Not a big deal. Or I will be. I'll be waiting. Crafting Gamer, the TCG. What is up, homie? Man, I got a lot of things to work on today. I've been watching some of your videos, I believe. You and Gaming with ADHD, I think. I'm horrible at remembering these things, but watching people put together miniatures and whatever, paint miniatures. That's a thing that I actually really do enjoy doing. So, yeah. I pre ordered some stuff and it showed up today, which is when it said it would show up. So that's good. One thing I got, which was not a pre-order, I ordered this like a month ago, and I'm letting him dry real good onto his base before I put a primer coat on him, is the famous barbarian. That was the name of the figure, right? The famous barbarian. So come on, focus in. Focus. Stop looking at other things and focus. Damn it. I wonder if I'd put a. I think a big part of it too is I shake so much. Anyway, you can't really see, and I apologize for that, but it's Conan. And by Conan, I mean it's Conan from you haven't made a video? Well, I'm watching some crafting gamer videos. I don't know if they're yours then or not. But they're building stuff and painting stuff. This is Conan from the movie. So even though you can't see because I can't get to focus in right, yeah, this is it looks like Arnie. You know what I mean? He doesn't have the Atlantean blade though, but it's definitely Arnie. And so he would make a good Cimmerian, Kurgan, uh what have you in Hyperborea. Since Hyperborea, yes, a lot of the armor and everything does exist, but it's also a very barbaric world where you have, barbarian tribes wandering around doing barbarian shit. So. I was just getting ready to douse some Crusader flesh on this guy, too. This is a Roman with Pilum. He's got his gladius. See, look, that guy's gonna. You can see the white. That's where the flesh needs to be. And the reason is there is a town in Hyperborea, town slash kind of a city that is ran by Romans that had somehow. It's the Ninth Legion. You remember that legion that they say vanished and no one knows whatever happened to it? They're in Hyperborea. So to me, I think that's kind of a cool little, because I'm a history nerd, and plus, I do listen to stuff about, the lizard people and all that sort of thing. So when a game says, hey, something about from your world, but this is actually what happened. And I know it's fake, but it's still cool, it's like, man, that's kind of cool though, right? So the Ninth Legion ended up in Hyperborea while they were traveling across Central Asia, and immediately built a Roman fort and started trying to do their thing. Their biggest problem was there wasn't a lot of Roman female, camp followers. So they did have to go ahead and recruit some ladies from the native Cimmerians and Celts and whatever. So, I guess some people might not consider these Romans to be pure blooded, but What in the hell does that even mean? Well, you need to get back to making those videos, brother. Horses. I can throw those in a box. I got a box here that's like all of my Hyperborean specific miniatures. So I've got like the Men of Ling, which are basically kind of just like satyrs, except they, dress up in fancy outfits and stuff. And they're cannibals. I've got some gladiators that I've done up, because gladiatorial games are still a thing in this far, far future. So, got some gladiators, got orcs, of course, because that's a thing. Lizard men and troglodytes and frogmen and, you know. But then on top of that, night gaunts and byaki and stuff like that too. So just getting together some, like I said, just throwing together some more Hyperborea specific miniatures. Because when I play, I tend to have my laptop on the table here and a stool here with a box of miniatures. And then on the table, I have a UDT. And unless we're actually fighting a combat, especially a larger combat that I think actually warrants breaking miniatures out, we don't. But if it's a big combat, then we do. How you doing, Bear? Happy Christmas Eve to you.
Happy Christmas Eve to you too. But I got a cat.
You got a cat, and that's pretty cool.
What more could I possibly need?
Yeah, I woke up at 3 a.m, went to the bathroom. Cat appeared out of nowhere. Wanted to be petted a lot. So I literally was just sitting on the toilet for 30 minutes petting this cat.
Yeah.
Janet, Merry Christmas tomorrow for you too. And
eat your face.
Not that matters at all because I love every party, but yeah, Christmas for me is a week or so away.
We know you've gone on about this enough. January 6th, everybody's aware. 7th, pardon me. January 6th is Old Christmas for us in the Western calendar.
Yeah, 7th.
Yeah.
Okay. But I still love parties.
Can you just accept that, this is Christmas here, and then you have your Christmas later? We don't need to qualify it.
My wife has 2 Christmases.
Exactly. Your wife's got the right fucking idea.
So it's pretty awesome.
You want to see something cool?
Yes.
I'm working on a metal album for the Final Age setting. And I was going to use different tracks from different bands, but then I decided and I created a band called Nephilim. Check this out. Check out this logo, brother.
I bet you there is a band called Nephilim.
Nope. I looked it up. There isn't.
That is pretty metal, I have to admit.
That's pretty fucking metal, eh?
Yeah, that's pretty metal.
About 6 tracks in. I got 6 more to go, and it'll be done.
Yeah, that's definitely metal.
Mm-hmm.
You got your...
That's ticking clock metal, buddy. Olaf, metal face.
That's like death clock metal.
Well, I mean, it's not nice metal. I'll tell you that. It's not mean metal, but it's got a sound.
Like if you played that too much in Finland, a troll would jump out of the lake and just start ripping shit apart.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Janet, how you doing though, Janet? Been a minute.
What's up, Janet from another planet?
Janet.
The river was wide, but I swam it. Janet.
Yeah,
there's a fire in my heart, and you fan it. Janet. If there's one fool for you, then I am it, Janet. I've one thing to say, and that's damn it, Janet. And then
I love you.
I love you.
Yeah. That is awesome. That's so good.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's
Hey Coco, I sent you some tracks on Discord that you can check out. Let me know what you think. I call it music to create by, sir, and I know you're creating some cool shit today, so I thought you might like it.
well, in addition to finishing this Roman up real quick, see, Roman for my Hyperborean game. I need a couple Romans.
That's awesome. Hyperborea.
Well, because the Ninth Legion, the one that vanished from Earth, they ended up on Hyperborea.
You know, I'm so inspired by your Hyperborea conversations. In the new year, guys, you see I have the Hyperborea 3rd edition over here. It's even got the book with the map and all that fun stuff.
I see it. Nice.
$40 you pay shipping anywhere in the world. I want it out of my house.
That's just you being a contrarian.
Yes, because you don't shut up about it. Oh my god!
Because that's what I talk about
all the time. It was what was that Eastern game, Blood Crusade or whatever?
Oh no, it was
Crucible of Assholes. What was it?
Baptism of Fire.
Baptism of Fire. There it was.
But you know what? I told you what the problem with Baptism of Fire was.
What?
None of my players wanted to play a game in which the actual real church exists.
Well, yeah.
So as much as I love Baptism of Fire and everything about it, and I will support Punnett, even though I think he's a filthy neocon, because he made that game, it doesn't change the fact that I will never be able to play that game.
I figured it out, though. Hyperborea is your punishment to us all because you can't talk about Baptism of Fire anymore. So now
you
you're going to punch us in the teeth
when I talk about Baptism of Fire. So fucking buckle up,
because you're OCD, bitch. You are OCD. No, Trench Crusade was before Baptism of Fire.
Trench Crusade is not a role-playing game. It's a war game. I still love the idea of it, but the creators of Trench Crusade are a bunch of Ponzi so-and-sos.
Ladies and gentlemen, look forward to James's new game coming out in the year 2026. The Hyperborean Baptism of the Crusade.
Yeah, I only had one player at my table. Two. That was like, hell yeah, I'll play that game. And of course, one of them was Hungar, so no surprise there. And the other one was my brother-in-law, who's very religious anyway. And immediately wanted to play a holy warrior whose whole job was just run around killing anyone who's not Christian. So, but everyone else was just like, no. What's up, weird guy? And I mean, you know, can't force people to play a game. It's the thing that killed my Conan 2.20 game. None of the women I game with wanted to play it. Not one.
Why would they? It's Conan.
I don't understand why you would say that. Conan is awesome. And
it's not particularly, what's the word I'm looking for? How do I put it? Conan's not exactly lady friendly. Let's put it that way.
There were so many female heroes in the Conan stories.
Really, name them all.
Valeria.
Other than the tits out pirate. Exactly. Other than the tits out pirate who dies, who else was there?
I already said Valeria.
She dies. Doesn't Valeria die?
Name starts with a Z.
Didn't she die?
No, she married Conan and had 5 of his kids.
Okay, so one who lived and she was a broodmare. Interesting.
She wasn't a broodmare. She rescued him from an evil wizard. And in return, he married her.
Did you have some medical problems? No. Well, I mean, other than the usual ones. No. We had financial problems, sir. That's what happened there. I've talked about this repeatedly in the updates. I guess maybe you've missed them, but we got fucking raped on international money transfers. the inflation shooting through the roof, the Canadian dollar tanking, artists ripping us off, taking money, delivering either shit or just never delivering and vanishing into the woods of the Philippines. I won't name the guy. We got fucked
A
over
lot
a
of
lot.
woods in the Philippines too, bro.
A lot of woods in the Philippines to hide it, exactly. So eventually it just got to a point where we had no money left, so I'm paying out of pocket month by month to get shit done. So it's taking time. C'est la vie. Now, if I was using AI art, it would be done out and in your hands. But when I suggested doing an edition using AI art, clearly marked as the AI art edition, literally I had someone threaten to boycott me and go on a crusade against me.
I'd have told them to do it.
I find that. Well, actually, it was really fun. The other backers came to my defense. One of them was the best, going, "Really? Can we see your art, please?" I thought that was the best response.
I'd just say, "Look here, boy. You don't look like King Baldwin to me, so I'm not afraid of your crusade." You know what I'm saying?
You're adorable. Anyways, doing the best I can, weird guy, getting it out piece by piece and paying for the backer art and all that fun stuff. But I got to pay out of pocket. Hence why I push people towards the Patreon, because the Patreon funds that. Pick up Valorous. Final Age will be coming out in January. Pick that up. And when the Kickstarter for Valorous 5e launches, back it, because all the money from that's going to be going to art, since I've already written the book and I'm using AI art for it, and that's just the way it's going to be. And people don't like it, they can my ass. I like how I beeped kiss and kept ass in, because that's the kind of vulgarity.
Yeah, that was weird. Because I mean,
thank you, sir. I appreciate that you bought it. Did you get the print copy or the PDF?
That could be kind of gay, Like if they don't like it, they can stick their penis in my ass. Like,
ooh, wow! I don't know. I didn't say that. No.
Yeah, you said my butt, and I
said they can my ass, meaning they can kiss my ass.
Well, or fuck it.
No, they cannot. They are not allowed to fuck
syllable words there. I'm saying.
Oh, dude, listen, weird guy. If you go on Amazon.com, it's $20 for the print copy. I'll show you. Hang on.
What, a Valorous?
I have to make the cat unhappy.
Well, it deserves.
You can get it for $20. Look at all this amazing book.
I've already bought 2 copies of Valorous, 1 print copy of The World is Fucked, the RPG.
Final Age Primer. I still like what Nerds calling the final edition, which is fuck you casters. Oh yeah, and Melee too.
Yeah, just fuck all of you players. And I am also a Patreon backer, so you know what? I'm doing my part. Are you doing your part?
I'm doing my part.
Exactly. I'm doing my part to make sure Bear doesn't starve. Well, mostly it's cats, actually.
Exactly.
Mostly the cats.
That's what it all boils down to.
I mean, Bear could probably go find something, but those cats, it's like.
I think they'd probably have an easier time than me going around, just digging in garbage.
Well, no, they're pretty. If they got out of the house, somebody would snatch them up so quick.
They're black. Black cats don't do well.
Maybe where we are, they're like premium.
Up here, they're usually the last ones to get adopted at the shelter or things like that.
Really? Nah, we got too many goth people here in Orlando.
We've got black cat. We've got too many, leftover European religious bullshit black cats or witch cats type thing going on here.
There's people like that in Kentucky, and I don't allow them on my property.
No, it's good because
there's people up there that think that they should just be able to kill a cat. And I'm like, look, if I catch you killing a cat on my property, you might not make it off my property.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I ever tell you about the Cameroonian girl I worked with who wanted to date me until she found out I had cats? And then she was like all weird about it. And I finally got it. Witches, cats are for witches. They're evil. And I'm like, okay, that's just some bullshit. Some guy put in your fucking head. Cats are not evil. They're not witches. They're not, Satan. They're assholes, but they're not the devil.
See, my question to the Cameroonian girl would be
with an F, but not with a PH, sir. Nephilim, the proper spelling, just to pass her by, you Dutch fucking pedant. You call me a pedant. Have you paid attention to this Dutch prick?
I like Just Passerby.
I do too, but I also got to
I
call
call
him
him our resident swamp German.
Have you ever noticed? Have you ever seen him on a stream when Victor's like him show up when Victor's on a stream? They argue with each other, right? Because they're both Dutch, but Victor's Southern Dutch and he's Northern Dutch. And Victor, one of the most autistic human beings I've ever met, calls him an autist.
Yes. Well, I mean, look, they live 5 minutes away from being 10 meters underwater at any given time. So, I mean, the second those locks and those freaking pumps break down, they're all swimming to freaking France. So, whatever.
Whatever.
I don't blame them. I've had people tell me that they thought I was a witch because, I didn't know that was still a thing, to be honest, Janet.
There are a lot of crazy people out. I'm a Spurg. Yeah, you are. Janet, you never answered the question on the radio show the other night when people asked you if you were into metal or not, and you just ignored it. Broke all our hearts. We wanted to know, Janet, are you a metal queen or not?
Well, I've been trying to get Janet to listen to more goth music. I've been sending her some, particular, like name brand goth bands.
Do you ever get the impression, and I'm not saying this to be mean, Janet, but you give me the vibe like you'd be an Evanescence goth. Like that's the kind of goth Janet would be.
No. I sent her like some Sisters of Mercy, The Cure.
They're not. Neither one of those bands are goth. Even Robert Smith has said that they're not goth.
They may claim not to be goth, but go to a goth club anytime.
Goths listen to them, absolutely. I'm just saying they're not goth.
Right. It's like New Order. The whole point of New Order was to not be goth. And then you go to any goth club and sure as shit, Blue Monday's coming out.
Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, exactly.
It's
like that's Joy Division, though. I'm on the wrong band. I have to go to the link.
Yeah, you're doing Love Will Tear Us Apart.
Yeah, I should be doing.
Yeah, because they're like, look, we're not going to be gothy anymore. We want to make like club music. So they put out freaking How Does It Feel
to treat me like you do.
It's like, okay, get out of here.
When I broke up with one of my exes, I finally, after she'd been just being one of my narcissists that I did a few in a row there, my buddy just sends me a link to YouTube, right? And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I click it on, it's that. And I call up like, what the fuck, man? He's like, dude, you're bullshit. Like, all right, fair.
Yeah, Maynard learned to swim. I believe he was talking about the idiots in LA, but I do agree with you that it applies to the Dutch. Learn to swim, because if shit ever goes bad, you guys will literally be at least 10 meters underwater before you know it.
You know what? Just to pass her by,
I'm even using metric system just for you specifically. Because really, I'd say 30 plus feet, 33, 34 feet, but 10 meters, whatever. I don't care. I can think in multiple measurement systems. I mean, honestly, around the house, I measure things in bananas and bald eagles. So,
Hungar, are you still there?
Did he try to get into chat?
No, I'm asking if he's still in the chat. If you
I never even knew he was in the chat.
I thought I saw him in there earlier. I swear I saw Hungar earlier in the chat. Am I crazy? I could be on.
Have you seen Victor lately? I haven't, and that's sad because he used to be my little Dutch boy, but then John stole him.
No, I don't see him. No.
Oh, Bear. So there's this car, right? And it's like 10 meters is 28 megahertz to me. What's up, Death Angel? So you got a car, right? And there's a Mexican, a Colombian, and a Brazilian in the car. Who drives?
Canada.
The ICE agent.
The ICE agent. No.
I just saw that today. I was like, that's funny. When people say meters, you think frequencies. See, I didn't even know.
I'm getting a drink. I'll be right back.
I did not even know that was a thing. Every now and then I use meters and centimeters to make the Euros feel better about their lives, even though we're the only ones to have ever went to the moon and we win every world war. Back when we used to fight wars, then we stopped fighting wars. We're just like, yeah, we're done fighting wars. We're just going to let every freaking primitive Stone Age people win for some reason. But I don't want to get into that, though. That's just me being angsty. So, yeah, got my Conan. I'll be painting up.
I'm going to eat on your stream. I apologize, but my Lebanese Catholic landlady made these great low sugar Christmas log.
Oh, nice.
So I have to taste it before the day gets on. So I might as well do it now.
Well, I would say, yeah. I mean, I'm not like weirded out if you want to have a bite.
No, but some people get really weird about things like this.
Well, one person in particular, because he's got a mental issue with it.
Well, that's nice. That's really nice. It's not overly sweet at all.
Yeah.
It almost tastes like a dark chocolate log. It's nice.
Well, dark chocolate's good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Max gets all freaky about it because it activates his
misophonia. Mm-hmm.
So, but I usually don't care. I'm weird in that I don't care if people eat in front of me, but I don't ever eat in front of other people unless they.
I normally don't, but I really wanted to.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just a cultural thing for me. Yeah. It comes from being so poor that you didn't have any food. So basically, you never eat in front of people because you don't want them to think that you're eating and they're not eating, and there's a whole thing. When my wife was doing her master's program, she had to do a whole paper on it. Janet is home now. Well, Gratz, welcome home.
Why don't you turn on your camera and join us, Janet?
Yeah, you can if you want. And one of the things I do not suffer from is misophonia. Yeah, me neither. I think I just suffered from being raised in a really poor environment, which made me have some weird thoughts. But
I just suffered from being fat and trying to eat in public is something I don't do anymore because people are rude and they just stare at you. It's like, oh my God, how dare you eat food, you fat fuck. I had one guy at the restaurant one time. One guy at the restaurant, I was sitting there with my buddy, we were just having breakfast. And the guy sits down at the table and goes, excuse me, do you mind if I just want to talk to you for a quick second? And I said, yeah, sure, go ahead, man. What's up? And he's like, I just wanted to tell you how I lost 250 pounds. And I went, get the fuck up and walk out of this restaurant right fucking now, or I'm going to show you how you have legs that don't work. Oh, just move. Oh, sorry. And he leaves. And before I would turn to my buddy, I was going to apologize for being aggressive. He goes, how fucking rude was that? I went, I'm sorry. He goes, no, that guy. How fucking rude was that? I'm like, okay, thank you. I'm not alone in this world.
Yeah. I mean, mind your own business.
He's probably selling Herbalife or some shit,
So I have my theory about Victor. He's only pretending
I'm worried
to
about
be
him now.
Dutch. He's actually Vori, and he escaped Russia when Vladimir Putin was rounding up all the criminals and having them thrown in prison and shit. And now he's pretending to be Dutch, but he's really not Dutch.
He's actually Gopnik.
He's actually Vori Gopnik, and he's just kind of because apparently the Dutch land, Holland, whatever. They're very, very open-minded about allowing immigrants in. So they tuck him in. which is probably was a bad idea. Honestly, they should have sent his ass on to France, but you know.
Boom, 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 boom.
And like I said, I've learned a lesson. Never loan your Dutchman to a Mexican because he will never give him back.
There you go. So, Janet, put on the computer. Or should I say, because it's you, I know there'll be some statement like, I'm not even, put on a bra and put on the computer. Come on. You can do it, Janet.
You don't have to, though.
I would prefer you did, Janet, if that's okay with you. I would like you to be not feasted upon by the dork patrol.
Oh, my God. The evidence is piling up against you, Bear.
For what? What the evidence for what, man?
Your nickname.
I like titties, okay? Shut up.
I don't know.
Oh, my fuck. All right, I'm going to say this one time and one time only, and I'm never saying it again, and I'm going to let you believe whatever the fuck you want. Shadow is the gay man vampire. Got it?
Well, you don't have to be a vampire to be gay.
No, but you have to be gay to be gay, surprisingly.
Yeah, true. You don't even have to be gay. I have some Russian blood, but I am far from a Gopnik. Well, nobody's perfect, just passerby.
So one of my exes, when she got married to the guy after me, and they became swingers, and she was telling me a story.
Oh my God.
A couple of years ago, and she said in the conversation, casually, you know how many straight guys had sucked my husband's dick so they could fuck me? To which I just went, zero. She's like, no, there was lots of them. No, not a single straight guy sucked your husband's dick. Yes, they did. No, they were gay. If they were willing to take another man's penis in their mouth, sweetheart, they were gay. They were not straight. At best, bisexual, And
also, it's like, way to make it all about you, bitch.
No, she's just, she was just trying to be sassy.
It's like, how do you know they didn't actually just want to blow your boyfriend and then just let you in on the situation out of pity? Like, fine, I'll sleep with the girlfriend, but really I was
really looking for that guy's dick. Yeah, well, let's ask Shadow. Shadow, you here?
It's like,
you ever use that technique, Shadow? Buy now, gay later?
Buy now, gay later, yeah. Oh, Renaissance style.
A harpsichord playing in the background.
Right. It's like, as usual, the chick had to make it all about her.
Well, that's what chicks do, man.
It's like, look,
have you seen that Asian guy who plays piano in public? You ever seen this guy? There's this Asian guy. I saw him on the X, some of his video compilation videos. He'll be playing piano in public, and then some chick will come along and start singing, and he'll just stop playing and get up and walk away. It's really funny. There's 5 or 6 of them. And some opera chick, she's like, hold on. He just goes, yep, okay. And he just leaves because he's not here to, he's not here for them. Fuck you, lady. It's not about you.
Oh my God. I saw this Asian woman, Chinese specifically.
Can I ask everyone something? Do you think Old School Essentials is better than Shadow Dark? Well, as a matter of taste, my favorite D&D is BX. So I would say for me, yes. For other people, maybe not. But I much prefer Old School Essentials. I was not a fan of Shadow Dark. Nothing wrong with it. And more power to Kelsey for pulling it off and all the community she's built and all the money she's making. Wish I had a 10th of it, But sadly, no, it's not for me.
My opinion, weird guy, is if you want to play generic D&D, like TSR style D&D, OSE is the way to go. Specifically, I would say advanced, OSE advanced. But if you want to play just straight BX, OSE basic, it's.
But just, no, if you want, Shadow Dark,
you want to play Shadow Dark, play Shadow Dark.
Well, I ain't paying that price for it. Fuck that.
But I didn't even know what the price of Shadow Dark is, but
it's $80. They just put it on sale for 60. That's a fucking deal. The book's this fucking thick. It's half the size of Valorous that I saw for $20.
And people were paying that much?
Losing their fucking minds for it.
After bitching so hard about Gillespie's book being $60.
People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone.
Well, that didn't
Women
work.
seem
I hit
wicked
the button and it
when you're
didn't.
unwanted. Streets are uneven when you're down, when you're strange. You kicked her in. You brought her in, you kicked her out. You are a mean man.
I am
Are
a boomer.
you a fucking what's up, boomer? Like you're just like, come in, get out, come in, get out, come in, get out. I don't know what's
I don't know. I could be stroking out.
You
Nikki
are
was
what we used to
bad, wouldn't you?
You are what we used to refer to in tech support as the problem exists 8 to 12 inches in front of the screen.
Yeah. How you doing?
Hi, Janet.
Hey guys.
How you feeling?
I just got a letter on the January 11th. I got a call to see if I go to court on the 12th.
Let me know because we're waiting for you for the game. So let me know.
You go to quorum.
No, I'm on the jury duty.
Oh,
January for federal, so I have to drive over 80 miles one way.
They never put me on jury duty anymore.
I wonder why. Is that because you went in and ranted about how you were going to get all those minorities?
Lizard people.
That's a good one. Yeah, Janet, the only people who do jury duty are suckers. Because there's very simple ways to get out of jury duty during the jury selection process.
I sat through 3 selection processes, and the question was, I finally got asked this question, do you have anyone in your family that's currently serving in the Arkansas State prison system? And I had to say yes. Because remember, last spring, when I went to court for my niece because she was molested by one of her uncles, and he's in prison.
Nice.
So I went through 3 different ones, and I got booted because some jerk that already fucked over our family once now fucked me out of jury duty after sitting there.
Wait, you want to do jury duty?
Yeah. Well, I think it's great. Honestly.
You're a patriot.
Well, think about it. If I get accused of a crime, I want someone who actually wants to be on the jury and wants to do justice for the person that's on the jury or on the trial with weighing the evidence. And I want to be that person for that, whoever I get picked for.
So basically, you're not going to go in and say you think all the darkies just need to go to prison.
No, I could go in and say, just blow his fucking brains out and they to get rid of me, but I'm not going to do that because
if you do that, what I said, you'll never have jury duty ever again.
Misty, if you ever go on trial, you want Janet on your jury, Misty. You understand?
Yeah, you don't want me on your jury, Misty.
You don't want James because he'd be like, black cats are no good.
But I want to
black cats are no good.
It's O.J. Simpson trial or anything stupid like that. I want to do it just because I don't even have a clue. It's probably going to be a drug case or something.
You've been laying out in the sun.
Yeah, I tan.
Yeah,
every other day.
You're so tan.
You are very tan.
I'm so pink.
But I also just had my teeth cleaned.
Nice.
And
look how shiny those things are.
Yeah, I clean my teeth every morning and before I go to bed.
Yeah, well, I get my teeth cleaned, but that's just a dental thing to.
Plus, I have those little it's a little thing I bite in, and I put the stuff in there, and I put that on for an hour and walk around.
Oh yeah. My wife has that she puts on overnight. It's like some kind of MCI paste or something. It makes her teeth.
Well, it's the stuff you inject in there.
Right.
But plus, last spring, my bottom teeth were all really crooked, so I did the Invisalign.
See,
it worked really good.
The same thing that happened to me. My top teeth are perfectly straight, and my bottom teeth are crooked.
Yeah, that's the thing that happens to a lot of people.
So. Yeah, I heard. I don't know if you're interested or not, but I'm going to tell you anyway. It has to do with mixed heritage. Because you end up with the top skull of one part of your ethnicity, but then the jawline of the other part, and it causes the teeth to be crooked.
Yeah, this side must be my American Indian, and this side down here is my European.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm just kidding. I don't have a fucking clue.
Well, that's what I heard, but then again, I'm sure somebody would consider that racist.
Well, It could be racist. Everything you say is racist nowadays. You can't
Especially
say
when you
anything.
drop like hard N-bombs in it. I mean, that just
Well,
like
I
that.
don't like that word anyways.
Well, I don't. I mean, there's so many better words than that. I learned
Ginger.
a lot of them watching Gran Torino.
Ginger's a great word.
Ginger.
Oh, but I did want to show you my new. Let me see if I can find them real quick. You
And
know what I
another
found?
ginger can
You know
call
what's
another
really
ginger
hard
a
to
ginger.
find in America are these. Have you remember these?
Are those
Candy cigarettes?
candy
Candy
cigarettes?
cigarettes.
Yeah, I found all these. Look at this Stallion brand and then Roundup.
Where'd you find these?
At some little store, hole in the wall store, and then here's one more. I got all of these Target brand.
Found them at a guy with a van that said free puppies.
But see, look, there was a little mint.
Like I
candy.
said the other day, Bear, you see the white van and it says free candy, and you stop and you think.
But look
I
at
got
this.
5 guys.
The
I found
downside
Five
is
of
pretty
us.
bad, but the upside could be awesome.
The upside's candy and it's free.
You know, so,
Do those not have lenses
look
again,
at you with
Janet?
your
No,
glasses.
it's another pair of glasses. I finally was able to get the one pair I said I really wanted that I couldn't do, but see, it doesn't have any.
Now you need to find a fake septum ring and put it on, and then you would be like, totally, you'd be totally on the in crowd, like,
cow sounds.
yeah, right. Apparently, I've heard. I don't know if this is true, but the reason the nose ring has become super popular with certain women is so they can recognize each other.
Oh,
It's like a code. I
don't
guess.
know. Just ask any guy that's read that. What was something Mary's Milking Farm or something? What is that
Oh
one?
God, let's not start.
Okay, I've never read it, but any guy that knows women that read that, they know a lot of women that have nose rings. But you guys know what this is?
Tampon.
It looks like a tampon, right? It says tampon on it. Really, it's written all over it. And but the thing is, you take this to a ball game and you put your shot in it.
So if they check, nobody wants to mess with a tampon.
These flasks, but they look like tampons. Pretty cool.
Chocolate cigarettes forbidden in the EU since 2013.
The fuck was the name of that prop comic? Rip Torn?
Rip Torn.
Yeah, you're just listen. Get a handful of glitter, Janet, and go look what I found. You put your post in it, and just just make a whole show out of it.
No, but I found some cool stuff and I wanted to share it.
Janet is like the
I
ultimate
appreciate
prop
it.
comic.
I love
You're a prop comic, Janet. A prop comic.
Rip
Prop
Torn was
right.
also in Beastmaster, though.
Oh, that's Rip Taylor. Oh, Rip Taylor's the guy I'm thinking of. Rip Torn was the actor.
Rip Torn is the comedian that's in all that rough comedy back in the day.
All right, hang on. Rip
Check
Torn.
this out. Look at this cool mic.
Oh, that is
Janet
cool.
couldn't. Yeah, I'm thinking of Rip Taylor.
Yeah, because Rip
Yeah,
Torn
Rip
was
Taylor.
also
I
in
remember that
Dodgeball.
name.
Yeah, Rip Taylor. He had the big handlebar mustache,
Yeah.
blonde.
He was the one that's
Super
like,
gay.
you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
That's Rip Torn. Yeah,
That's Rip Torn. And then they gave him that big old schnoz in Beastmaster and made him the high priest. He's got this giant freaking Semitic schnoz. Like,
Did he have
why
a
would
mom
you
too?
do that? Look at you all made up. You got your glasses on and everything.
Yeah, I love my necklace. It's a little jingly bells for
You
Christmas.
know? So Christmas.
But it's 70 something degrees out today here.
So you're like a cat. Somebody put
I dug this
rope around
out
your
to put on a
neck so they
tank top
could-
so I could go to the town and stuff because it's like freaking hot out. I mean, it's like my allergies are just going, fuck you. Because
Yeah.
I
was
can't get
thinking-
any relief.
I was thinking you got the
Coco has
bells
me
on
beat.
so that people can hear you when you're going around the house.
Yes,
They know
indeed.
where
Coco,
you are.
Coco has me. I guarantee you, Coco has me beat. But it's in American terms, it's 19 degrees here today.
Florida's been acting really weird lately. It's been in the 50s. Right now it's 78 and sunny.
Oh, they like my background lights. Let me show them this cool thing then. How cool they are. But I was going to say, I saw on the news that somewhere in California, it's going to be like they're going to get like 8 feet of snow.
Well, I mean, probably up in the mountains if I had to guess.
8
Well, they said,
feet.
yeah, they were showing a big map thing showing the heat part going like that up towards Ohio and everything in my area. And then they showed the other side, which was all snow and stuff and weird cold temperatures.
The Sierra Nevada mountains are expecting 4 to 8 feet of snow through Christmas week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Sierra
when you're
Nevada.
way up in those mountains, man, don't be surprised if you get buried in snow.
But I've been hearing that people aren't getting near as much snow as they normally would get. And all of a sudden this year we're going to get like a shit ton of stuff.
Well, this
We
stuff
had-
runs on cycles, Janet.
I know.
We had about
Climate change. Real
why do I
climate change.
talk? Really? Why do I talk? What's the point?
I'm sorry.
I don't know. Why do you talk?
No, I don't know either. Well, you two have a time. I'm going to go make coffee. There you go. I'll be
Okay.
back.
Okay. Of course, climate change is real, Janet. It's been happening since 4 point whatever billion years ago.
Yeah, I know. But see, when I was a kid, I remember watching documentaries where
No, Informa. I love that song.
they drilled down into the ice, like in Antarctica and up north, and stuff like that. And then they take out the little sections and they test the ash in it or whatever was in it.
They do.
And they could tell way back then we had, heat waves, we had, ice age, blah, blah, blah. And now it's all because of us, just because man's been on for this small amount of time. It's all our fault.
People say that, but if you look it up, and believe me, I wouldn't try to ever lead you astray here. One volcano detonating will produce more greenhouse gas than the entire history of humanity.
Mm-hmm. But they don't believe that. They still think it's you farting.
No, that's actually scientific research. They've been like, yeah, that's a thing. Now, I'm not saying we have zero effect, but the effect is not like, oh my God, we're going to die. I mean, remember that like 10,000 years ago, the sea level was 90 meters lower than it is now. You could literally walk from England to Norway. And the Mediterranean Ocean didn't exist.
Mm-hmm. I believe that.
Well, yeah. I mean, we know it happened for a fact, right? And then the Ice Age ended for whatever reason.
There's a lot of people that still believe that dinosaurs weren't real and that we never found fossils and stuff. So
I don't believe in dinosaurs. I believe in dragons.
Well, I believe in dinosaurs, and I believe in huge sharks. I believe in all the fossils and stuff that we found. We don't know why they were here or what their purpose was, but I still believe that in fossils because I do believe in science.
Well, they were here because they were animals and they wanted to eat stuff and swim around and have baby animals. I mean, it's pretty simple to me to figure out why they were here.
Oops.
Somebody was. I don't know if you know this. This is a weird thing that the word dinosaur was never used until like the 18th century. Yeah, they just called them dragons, and I kind of dig that. That's kind of cool, It's like they dig up a big brontosaurus and they just call it a dragon, And I'm sitting here like, that's kind of good. Yeah, there was also supposedly a whole civilization under the Black Sea between Turkey and Russia. But then when the flood came, that was the end of that, because when the flood came, it was so quick and so much water that 99.9% of people in a region could not escape. It was just like, boom, And think about it. Back then, there was no Gulf of America.
People still that say that there is no Gulf of America now.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: when people talk about it, yeah, I know it's like contentious, but Mexico is America. It's North America. And we're North America, and Canada's North America, and the Caribbean's all part of North America. So calling it the Gulf of America is not insulting anyone. It's actually more intellectually correct than calling it the Gulf of Mexico, which is just one country when there's like 4 countries around it, Not Canada, obviously, but so if you talk to Bruce,
earlier today.
Yeah, I talked to him a little bit a couple days ago. He's working.
Yeah, he was driving around. I could hear half of what he said, but I was just checking in to tell him to have a good Christmas.
Yeah, this is a rough time of year for a lot of people.
Yeah, it is for me. I've been really, really depressed because my mom died like the 23rd of December. And
Oh,
since then, not this year, a few years back, it's just, to me, it's just depressing time of year. So, but I still try to do stuff to make it more, like we've been wearing earrings.
Today would be my younger sister's birthday had she survived.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sorry.
But she died when she was 27. It will always be the Gulf of Mexico. To me, I don't even think Mexico should be Mexico. So, the Gulf of Mexico, that can be right out. If it were up to me, I would. I don't know why we've conquered them 3 times and we keep giving them back. And I don't get it. It's like,
well, we're the only country in the world that collects taxes from its people and gives it to other countries. So,
right. But I mean,
we're
outside
not all
of that,
there. We're not all smart. You think about it.
Who knows? Who knows? Whatever. I don't want to get into my, expansionist fascist bullshit. I mean, Bear pops in, then he just leaves.
Weird guy. No, I'm not from the fucking bullshit area of Canada known as the Toronto Triangle at all. They can go fuck themselves and die in a horrible fucking landslide. I'm from Eastern Quebec. I'm from Eastern Canada. I'm from Quebec.
Yeah. Did somebody say
he asked
Toronto?
He said, Bear, I grew up in central Minnesota. I live further north than you do, assuming that you live in the triangle around Toronto and Detroit. I don't. Okay, sorry. Well, fuck, let's go back to talking about crazy shit. I apologize. So sorry I answered someone's question.
Also, you don't want Greenland. You're outvoted, weird guy.
Greenland should belong to Canada. Get in line.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure
I think Greenland should belong to Greenland, and they should choose where they want to be.
I'm pretty sure we already
Denmark.
owned them once.
Wow.
And we'll just
the Danes might have something to say about it. Is all I'm saying. Since it is a territory of Denmark,
Yeah, I'm sure the United States is really concerned with what Denmark has to say about anything.
Yeah, I know. You guys are really working hard to make sure no one on the fucking planet likes you anymore. It's a good skill. I really admire the work you're doing.
No, there's one country in the world that's growing closer and closer to us every week.
Russia.
And can you imagine if America and Russia ally, we can become the great Northern Alliance and just fuck the rest of the world so hard? It'd be the best.
Not going to work out the way you think it's going to work out, but that's okay.
I think it will. Obviously, I think it will.
Narcissistic people always think they're going to win no matter what the circumstances because they can outsmart everyone else.
So, weird guy, 50% of Canadians do not live in the Detroit-Toronto area. A large percentage do, but not 50%. The entire population of Canada, for the most part, is clustered within 100 miles of the border. And the actual area is from Quebec City to Windsor. It's called the Quebec-Windsor corridor. And that's where the largest bulk of the Canadian population lives. But Toronto would like you all to think everyone lives in Toronto because that's how stupid they fucking are. I literally watched a video today, which was a reaction to an old classic video from the 70s or the early 80s about a French-Canadian kid. It's done in English, but it's animated from this famous story about he lived in, the 1940s in like Saint-Justette or some little French town, and his sweater got his Rocket Richard Montreal Canadiens sweater got too ratty, so his mother ordered a new one from Eaton's, and they sent him a Toronto Maple Leafs one. And he was so embarrassed he couldn't go play hockey with his friends because they all wore Canadiens jerseys and he had a Maple Leafs one. And in the comments was all these fucking Torontonians going on about how, the Maple Leafs were the greatest rivals of the Habitant, the Canadians, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I couldn't resist. I was like, listen, get your heads out of your asses. We might have been your rivals, but our rival was Boston. Will always be Boston. So stop your nonsense. Just stop.
Sweet Caroline, baby.
Exactly. And that's the problem with Toronto. They think everybody gives a fuck about them. They're obsessed with. They're like New York in that way.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you want to talk about, Bear?
I'm happy to talk about anything just as long as I get to talk. That's all I'm saying, you know?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but...
No, I can't either. It's this crazy thing. I just, you know, it happens.
I know
that's okay.
Canadians are so used to people being polite and stuff, and I'm sorry I have to, you know, disarm you of that.
Yes, it is the one Canadian thing we have is that, you know, when someone else starts talking, we tend to go and just let them talk. Americans, you guys just keep talking. You don't stop. You just keep going until, like, eventually that person's going to shut up or I'm going to shoot them, one or the other.
Listen here, Bear. That's some gangster ass shit. What you're talking about, though.
Informa.
No, I was thinking more the Ghetto Boys when they say real gangsters don't talk shit because real gangsters don't talk much. You know what I mean? They don't run their mouth because real gangsters don't talk much.
So, you know, like, you know, campsites, right? I'm sure you've never been on one because you're a good Christian man, but you know, the idea of campsites where girls go on and they get money from crazy Arabs who want to see their feet and all that kind of stuff, right?
Their bobs and their vagines.
Exactly. Here's the fun thing about campsites. The way you can tell a girl is American versus anywhere else in the world, you don't even have to read the location. Just put the sound on and listen to her hosting her own fucking talk show. Like the American girls are just like blah 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 blah. I'm just like, holy fuck! You go like look at the Colombian girls and they say nothing. You know what I mean? The Russian girls say nothing. You know, one little Rush song about Toronto's airport, and they think your whole country revolves around them. That's fair, Death Angel Shadow. That's really fair. Oh well.
Yeah, Coco says the name of that animation was The Sweater.
Yep, it's a classic. It's really good. Because it's all about this kid,
like 1940. Rush makes one little song about the Toronto airport, and from then on, they think they're just the center of the world.
So Toronto, the Toronto does think they're the center of the world. That's something you need to understand immediately about them. They honestly, firmly believe they are the center of fucking creation, and they also think they're Canada's New York. And they're so fucking lame, they make up their own nicknames.
Well, to be fair, New York City thinks that their New York's New York, and the rest of New York is not happy about it.
Yeah.
I mean, like once every couple of years, like upstate New York tries to like break away from the city and become its own state. It's like, ugh. And recently, Staten Island has decided they're just not going to listen to anything the New York government says.
Well, if you were Staten Island, wouldn't you? Because you get like fucking constantly railed on as being like this like lesser thing all the time.
Right.
Fucking people live on Staten Island. There's a lot of money on Staten Island, you know?
Well, that's where a lot of rich people live, on Staten Island. Mm-hmm. So when the government comes out and says, yeah, we're just going to tax the shit out of Staten Island's like, nah.
Nah. Fuck you. So Janet, what else is going on in the world of Janet? Because there's always something. What's going on now? What's the big one?
Well, I got jury duty, as you know.
Yeah.
And I went in. My foot kept swelling. My left foot. Remember, I talked about a few times. I've had to put my foot up. Blah blah blah. Because my foot swells for some reason. I didn't know if I hurt it or what. Well, I went in and had an ultrasound done, and it's behind my knee. I have two veins that the valves aren't working. So the blood is just sitting in them.
So are they going to put a stent in or something?
Yeah. Tuesday, I go in and they're going to try to shut off both those veins and see if they can make the blood go through other veins, make them useful so to stop doing that. It's like preventative because I know over time it's going to end up making me where I just have to sit with the foot up all the time. And I'm active. I don't want to do that. So I said, do something. And do it now because next month I got jury duty and I want to get it done if you can do it now. So hopefully everything will work out. The only thing I'm worried about isn't the procedure itself. It's after because they're going to wrap me up all the way to my hip with the ace bandages because it has to be above where they do procedure, and then hopefully I don't get a blood clot. They're gonna, in a week later, they'll do another ultrasound to make sure that there's no blood clots or anything. So,
well, look on the bright side. If you were in Canada, they would have asked you if you maybe wanted to commit suicide instead.
well, I'm glad I'm not. But the thing is, I'm lucky because now I just have to pay the rest of my copay, and my insurance should pay for it. So, since I
well,
the end of the
in
year,
Canada, you could have taken care of all your problems in one easy application of a medical procedure. All your problems would end immediately.
I think they already have that in a couple of states here too in the United States. So,
are they as aggressive about it as they are in Canada?
I don't know. I don't live in Oregon and some of the other states.
Yeah, I think it's Oregon and Washington State.
Well, they are your most
allow
retarded states,
for-
so that works out.
Yeah, they do allow for assisted self-deletion, but there's like a lot of hurdles you got to jump through. You've got to be terminal. There's, it's not just you walk up and say, I'm feeling depressed. Would you please shoot me up with something to kill me?
It's not like a suicide booth on
Futurama, right?
Futurama, yeah. Oh, we're one step away from that in this fucking country. That's for sure.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty
It's
sad.
like, I think I have PTSD from fighting wars for my nation. Have you considered suicide? Damn, Canada, you rough.
Yeah, sad. It's sad.
Like, these Canadians, man, they're a lot tougher than I thought they were with the. So this is the thing that I pre-ordered a long time ago that finally showed up today. It's Saturnine Terminators, which really only existed during the Horus Heresy. So I had to have them because I'm a completist.
Well, I'm glad you got them.
Made to prisoners makes sense. I have always believed, and I know this is very unchristian of me, and maybe I'll be damned for it or whatever, but I've always thought, and I'm not willing to make someone else do something I wouldn't do. If I ever got put in prison for more than 10 years, I'd rather just be killed. You know what I'm saying? Because if you give somebody 25 years when they're 20, I mean, come on, man. By the time they get out, life's over anyway. They've already missed everything. So I would much rather just be deleted than to hang out in prison for 20 plus years. But
but what if you like the gay sex and working out?
I mean, yeah, the working out and the gay sex, I mean, there's
why in your country do so many fucking female prison guards fuck prisoners? What is that about?
Because, first off, I don't know if it's true in Canada or not, but in America, women like bad boys. And unfortunately, bad boys include guys that are in jail for multiple murders. And two, there's a lot of testosterone floating around in those prisons, you know what I'm saying? And the women, they smell that stuff,
Nah, I'm not interested.
And then they want to get a hold of some of that testosterone. That's the manly shit. It's like when I was
testosterone.
When I was in the SCA, after every major fight, you would have chicks come up to you trying to be like away, and it'd be like, nah, I'm married, because for some reason it greases their frickin' apple whenever you're out there fighting and stuff. They
some women, not all women, like losers.
Of course, not all. I mean, I don't even like that argument when you make a statement and people are like, well, not all. Well, of course, not all. We're not talking about every single one. There's nuns.
I am.
I'm not a nun.
There's good girls, whatever, right? But a lot of women get off on watching two grown-ass men battle it out in physical combat. And not only is that like not strange, that's normal. It's 100% normal, like biologically, because women are looking for men that can protect them and can generate strong children.
And what's really funny about that whole thing is a woman that's looking for a man in prison, okay, because he's a bad boy, isn't looking for a man that's going to be able to pay for her house and raise her kids and all that shit. She's just looking for a lay. Or
No,
she's
those women are just
blame
psychotic.
all her problems on stuff like that. That's not
Their
realistic.
problem. They're
A
social.
real woman wants a man that she thinks is gonna, if he wants her to stay home and take care of the house and cook and clean and raise the kids, then she's expecting to make a living and have a house that's safe for her kids that she's raising in it.
Mhm.
So, but the thing is, the problem is that people don't talk to each other before they end up jumping in bed to find out what kind of relationship they might want in the future. They never think past like this minute. You know what I mean?
You mean women make bad choices?
Yeah, hell yeah.
No. What happened to women's intuition? Best
I've never heard of it. I don't have that.
Of women's intuition I ever heard in my life was the guy who said, women's intuition, women are never wrong. They think there'd be a lot less single moms then.
Well, if women could see the future, then maybe you could say, yeah, that's it. But women can't see the future any better than men can. So
I think I lost most of my faith in most women's ability to make judgment calls when Ramirez got married in prison. And I was like, yeah.
The serial killer?
The Night Stalker.
The Night Stalker, a serial killer.
Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy being able to boink people while he's in prison on death row and be able to make more babies. That's just one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in my life.
Well, it is your gender that's up to that shit.
James sharing a funny picture with you.
Not really.
Well, they have to go to the prison and ask to see the guy.
The dumbasses that made that rule, that's the person that made it possible. So that was a man that said, "Oh,
for fuck's sake." Okay, so it says at the bottom who the fuck said that. Never mind. Wasted joke because of the stupid fucking thing. Never mind.
Sorry. I missed it. I was busy.
You, Janet. You were busy ranting. We know. We heard.
Okay.
It was like,
are you live streaming?
Yeah.
Hey, Doc.
I may not be able to stay. Stay on real long. I got to pick somebody up. I'm waiting to hear when.
Who are you picking up?
Jake, the guy I work with that I drive, who gets to actually go to work.
Why are you picking him up?
What's that?
Why are you picking him up?
Because I drive him every day.
To and from?
Yeah.
Even on the days you're suspended?
Yeah.
It's very nice of you.
It is.
I'm actually impressed. I'm trying to give you a compliment, you fucking dill.
Why can't he drive? Can I ask that?
He just doesn't drive. He's kind of odd that way.
I don't drive.
No.
I don't even know how to drive.
Yeah, you're Canadian though. You're like dog sleds and stuff.
Hey! Do not talk shit about dog sledding.
I wasn't. I'm just saying.
That's how I got to school for most of my life, sir. 3 miles uphill, both ways, 10 feet of snow, fighting sharks. Snow sharks are the worst. No, snow sharks, Janet. You know nothing. I know nothing of my Coco. Could you please tell them about the snow sharks? We can
I've never seen them,
please. No, you never see them. That's the point. You just hear the music and then suddenly snow shark attack. No, not the snow shark.
And also, I have to chime in here, Doc. As someone who lived in Alaska, we don't talk shit about Balto.
Who the hell is Balto?
Exactly.
Oh, get
you
the fuck out
yourself, sir.
You fucking.
Is Balto a famous dog?
He is super famous because if it weren't for Balto, most of frickin' Anchorage or Fairbanks would be dead.
Okay, please get to the point.
Well, because he was the lead sled dog that brought all of the vaccine up for the flu that was killing everybody.
And it was a hell of a trip. There's a book about it. There's a movie about it.
There's a statue.
I'm not a big dog sled aficionado, so I have not followed this.
Like they got a whole statue.
And you call what you do a life, sir? You call that a life? There's a movie. Thank you, Coco, for pointing out. There's a movie about the snow sharks. Man, you guys in the South have no idea how. Oh, crocodiles, alligators, oh, fucking snow sharks.
Well,
They're white. They blend. You don't
Are
see
they
them
called
coming.
polar bears in other languages?
No, that's a completely different beast, and it's the only thing that the polar bear fears is the snow shark, which is why they live on ice floes, because snow sharks can't swim on frozen water.
I feel like you have been reading too much Fritz Lieber.
I feel like you aren't paying attention to the warning I'm giving you about the snow shark epidemic.
Because Fritz Lieber was always talking about weird Arctic reptilian whatevers.
They're not reptilians, they're fish.
Yeah, I said whatevers, you know.
everything.
Snow serpents and snow sharks and snow this and snow that. And I know you're bullshitting around. You probably rode a school bus to school just like everyone else, or walked like I did.
Yeah, but it was pulled by dogs.
Down here.
Actually, it was pulled by trained snow sharks.
When I lived in Florida, I walked to school, even though it was like a mile and a half away. But when I was in
Not a mile and a half. Oh my God, your poor feet.
Shut up. But when I was in Kentucky, I had to take a bus because it was like an hour and a half ride.
That's different.
So, you know.
Mile and a half. What the hell?
No, I say that because nowadays, if you live like more than half a mile from a school, they have to send a bus. But back in my day, boy, we were hoofing it, actually riding our bikes. But, you know.
I would have loved to have lived in
A
the day.
mile and a half on a bike, you
Well,
barely
there-
get speed.
I know, right? That's awesome.
To school.
That's like getting blue balls, man. You're like, oh, I'm almost. No, it's over.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, you would. Shut up. You used to hang
Never
out with
been
goth
there.
chicks. You used to hang out with goth chicks. You know what blue balls are.
No, I don't. And I was a slow whatever. So
You were a slow whatever. What's a slow whatever?
a slow whatever is a
That
young
was just
man
his
who
official
doesn't
school
ever get
classification.
laid or anything.
Slow
until he's
whatever.
Like 19 or 20.
You never got teased by goth chicks?
I never got teased by goth chicks. They knew the deal if they started talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
They like being strangled.
Let's get Hungar on here. So we
Yeah,
can get
I'm sure they
a
were
complete
thrilled.
sense. Yeah, exactly.
No, Hungar.
They like being strangled and rolled up in carpets. Man.
Not a word of complaint. Their tongue would just hang out and kind of flap around.
Hungar was a
The neat
horror
thing about a
from
goth
the
chick
time he
is
was
she's
in,
already
like,
so
8th grade.
pale. You know? No one notices.
That was my brother. From the time he was in 8th grade, he was a horror. I was really shy. Until I got back from the army, in which case I stopped being shy and just started being
What?
that
Macho?
guy. That guy.
The bad guy?
I was very much so.
Bad guy.
Had the long black
And the
hair. And
military ruined you?
I had the black hair, the goatee, the black painted fingernails, the big labrae piercing.
The warrant out for your arrest on suspicion of murdering goth chicks. Yeah, we all know.
Oh yeah. And since I was at the time 6'1" and really well physically conditioned, like all the heavy set daddy issued goth chicks, I mean, it was either me, the muscular like dude that was promising to pound the bottom out of it, or some sissy, prancy ass poet. Guess who they chose all the time?
The gothopotamus.
The poet.
No.
Oh.
That poet was done the second I rolled into the scene.
Uh-huh.
I used to tell people, I still do, hanging out with the goth chicks at the club, it was like shooting fish in a barrel. As soon as I showed up, I knew. I could point them out, the ones I was going to get. Oh, yeah. That was a long time ago, though. I was like 20-something.
And they wore a size 20-something dress, so it worked out well for you.
Look, I've been with chicks that were absolutely nines and dimes, but I've also been with chicks that were a little bit on the heavy side.
Little bit.
And I'll tell you what, I don't care.
Okay.
Like if some chick that's maybe a bit overweight comes up to me and asks if I'll do some stuff for her, I will. I feel like it's gentlemanly.
Mm-hmm. I mean, how's your wife feel about that?
I mean, since I didn't know her when I was 20,
you just said I will, implying present and future imperative, sir. So
was your wife a goth girl?
You're muted, James.
Bear muted me somehow. Anyway,
I did not do shit.
Shut up with your
Fuck
Toronto
you.
Blue Jay logic.
Oh wow! He's trying
Right?
to provoke me into
You know
a
what I'm
fight
talking
now.
about. Everything I'm talking about that has to do with any sort of bullshit. That
Hey,
all
I'm not the guy
stopped
who's I'm not the guy who
20-something
misspoke
years
my
ago
tense.
when I got married.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You're the one who misspoke your tense, not me. Forgive me for treating English as an.
And we do know already know you're a lady strangler, so.
And that too. I was gonna say, like, not only was there a warrant out for his arrest, there was also his points club at the carpet
I
store.
don't know if
He had
you know
a lot of
this or not,
points.
but one of the most popular kinks amongst young women.
I shall fetch a rug, sir. You see, he's fetching a rug. Are you happy?
Damn it, Harcourt! I've killed another gothopotamus. Fetch the carpet.
Don't you?
Like, yes, master.
Doc also digs the hole right afterward too for you.
No, they were nice
To bury
girls.
him.
They were nice girls. They didn't see it
That
coming.
was
They
fun.
were
I
nice
missed that
girls. You guys are just being jerks.
Yeah, that's us, jerks.
These were nice girls.
Says the lamb court
I even
strangler.
dated one.
Says
I
the
actually had a
orange mile
relationship
strangler.
with one for
So
many,
what was
many
good
years.
about them?
Huh?
What was so good about them?
They were whores.
No.
Because you just said to me, if a guy said, "Hey, when I pull up at the bar, I know exactly which girls I'm going to get," that doesn't tell me that those are good girls. That tells me those girls are easy and they're ready to go.
Right. But then here's the
be
problem with like getting
Hi,
with
Shadow.
the chick though, Janet. Not that you might actually have ever dealt with it, but sometimes you talk to them. And if you like talking to them, then maybe rather than just it being what it is, it becomes something bigger. And then you might end up dating the same chick like multiple times over the course of two decades. I mean, it's always great when you first get with her, but you have to remember she is schizophrenic, so it is always going to end the same way.
What do lesbians and straight men have in common?
They both date crazy bitches.
We both had it just about up to here with bitches.
And this particular lady, she was really, really cool. Like we were actually like friends and not just me banging her all the time. But unfortunately for me,
Shadow, join us, Shadow, please.
Like literally taking
Shadow.
lithium and shit.
Shadow, get in here.
So it was like dating 20 women because you never quite knew which woman you were going to visit.
Ah, yes. When they tell you they're a Gemini, but you're like, no, you've just got multiple personality disorder, honey.
Well,
nothing to do with the month you were born.
And I put up with her bullshit because, again, she had a nice set of fake boobies and she was tall and long black hair. Her dad still lived on the reservation up in Canada.
Oh, and she was native. Oh my! So you're dating a crazy native goth chick?
Yeah, her dad was a Chippewa or a Ojibwa and lived on that island in Canada. And like her mom was like some random white girl from like Detroit or Michigan somewhere. Mm-hmm. And I don't even know how she ended up in Florida, but she was super cool. And before we even dated, we were like friends for like a year. And then one day, we're both single and we said, hey, let's maybe give this a shot. And it turned out we both liked, how things worked out. And so we started dating for a while.
Cool.
Then she wanted to get married. And I'm like, well, I would marry you. You're awesome. I love you. And Then she's like, well, after we get married, I'm thinking about joining the Navy for 6 years, at which point I immediately broke up with her.
Because you didn't want to work that was in the military?
That sucked. There's no way I'm dating some chick who's going to be stationed on an aircraft carrier. Get the fuck out of here.
The Love Boat.
Especially if she's reasonably hot. If she's somewhere above an 8, get out of here. You know, she came back from her Navy deployment pregnant. So, you know, ended up like marrying a pilot. Then he dumped her because guess what? She's schizophrenic. And he got custody of the kid. And that's a huge red flag. You don't generally want to date a chick who's lost their kids to their husband. Because
Doc, don't,
All
Doc,
I
Doc,
ever
no,
hear is
Doc,
men
no.
bitch about how they don't
No.
have any
Doc,
parental
Doc said
no.
nothing.
men.
No, Doc, don't color that fucking map. No,
She must be a bad bitch.
Oh,
'cause
okay.
not meant to be colored, Doc. It's not
Doesn't make
meant
any
to be
sense.
colored.
Oh,
Well,
okay. I was
listen
just
here,
doing it for my own
It's meant
amusement.
it's meant to reflect horror.
how you doing, Andre?
Bright green fields are not horror.
So, Janet, what happened is after I ran around being a complete idiot and being disappointed a lot,
Yeah.
I met the woman I ended up marrying and being with for like over 2 decades now.
Well, that's one.
And that's been pretty awesome. She's a Danish woman, so she keeps me like in, you know, because they're very organized. And
She keeps him from the
you know,
poorhouse. She keeps him from being a crazy fucking guy in a ditch with a laptop and a lot of 40K miniatures. That's what she keeps him from being.
pretty much. She keeps me from being that dude behind the 7-Eleven living in an old fridge box.
But he's got Wi-Fi. It's free Wi-Fi.
Yeah. I'm like stealing Wi-Fi from the local Dunkin' Donuts or some shit.
Today on Street 40K, garbage Marines. I made these myself out of Pepsi cans.
So yeah, she has been completely awesome for me because she's straightened me out a lot. You know,
The government is coming to get me, but they can't find me because I'm wearing the Pepsi cans on my head.
She
very
made
different
me
show.
a better person.
What
I
are you
will say
smoking,
that.
Bear?
Huh?
It's my vape.
Okay, because I was like, you're in a really good mood.
What's
Well,
up,
I have one
Daniel?
of two choices. I can either give in to my fucking Christmas depression or I can have fun.
Well,
I
I,
chose to
I
have
would go
fun.
with the have fun part.
I
It
like what
sounds
you're doing.
better, you know.
You're spreading joy.
Tomorrow, we'll see how tomorrow feels. But right now, I've chosen this as my outlet. Plus, I just made like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fucking like dark metal songs. I think I've worked out my depression for the day.
I have to listen
Plus, I mean, why are you being depressed now? Christmas ain't for another week anyway.
Shut your fucking Orthodox mouth.
I knew I had to do that. I don't know.
Listen, I used to like your show when it was happening in the cardboard box. It was a much better show in those days. I got lots of survival
Right.
tips. How to
Yeah.
turn plastic containers into a raincoat. Like, ooh, this is some survival techniques.
Now all of a sudden it's like all about.
to. Is that Gilbert Godfrey's voice that you're using?
It's a little bit. If I was going to do,
Oh, it
Gilbert
sounds a
Gottfried-
lot like him. Are you signing
Would you
up?
like me to do the actual Gilbert Gottfried voice? I can do it for you if you want, but I don't think everyone listening is going to enjoy it. It's very loud and it goes into the brain. So yeah,
Are you on audio yet?
am I what?
Are you on audio.com yet?
No, that's for Americans only. We don't.
Oh,
can't
it's
do
too
that.
bad. You got to find something for that because I'm telling you, I think you could get a lot of work that way.
They don't let Canadians do that?
No, we're not allowed. You can't. You have to be an American to be on that program. They don't
Oh,
pay the
weird.
Canadians.
That
Yeah,
is
it's-
bullshit.
You gotta
I'm
give
going
all
down
this
right- I
American-
wanna let you
American
know right
shit.
now, I disagree.
Because Janet gave me a chance. She said, "Go check it out." So I went to check it out. I went to sign up, and they asked me what state I lived in, and I looked at the nation. I clicked, and it said United States, and I clicked, and it said United States, and I'm like, "What the fuck? There's more than the United States on this planet." And they're like, "United States." Fuck
Well,
you.
that's horrible. Because I
That's
really
It's horrible. I
think
mean,
you're right.
granted, the United States is the only country that matters, but that's no reason to ignore everyone else. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
what are
trolling.
you gonna do?
You know I'm trolling.
Do I seem upset?
Nope. Because I mean, my
I think
second
that's something
favorite
you should
nation, Russia, they matter
You
too.
can give people birthday, send people birthday wishes, or a happy wedding or whatever with a different voice.
I understand that it's your birthday. Did you know that birthdays were invented by me? When I was in Vietnam, I was a Navy SEAL. That would be your birthday wish.
That is,
I think it's
my
great.
favorite. Jesse the Body Ventura, man, that is so good.
I'm working it. It's not perfect yet.
I would do my impersonation of Fedor Emelianenko, except he almost never ever spoke.
Who the fuck
I
is
gotta
Fedor
run, guys.
Emelianenko?
I will catch you later.
Okay, bye, Uber.
Bye, homie. You don't know who Fedor Emelianenko is?
Crazy, I know.
The last emperor. He was an MMA fighter from back in the day from Russia. Very orthodox, used to beat the shit out of everybody pretty much. Hardly ever spoke.
My YouTube channel is at Zeg Media, not Jureko.
Zeg Media.
I nuked the other channel.
But
2,500 subscribers, and I went delete
man.
channel. Crazy.
Fedor was one of the greats of all time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, if you say so.
I mean, okay, if you don't care, if you don't give a shit about MMA stuff, then it doesn't.
Aha! There it is. You found it. Congratulations.
Doesn't
Hiding
matter.
under the couch. I don't give a fuck about MMA stuff. Grown men in Speedos rolling around on the floor having homosexual panic with each other is of no interest to me. I agree.
If you used to like old school MMA, Fedor was he was my favorite guy. I mean, Hoist Gracie was always a badass too, but anyway, what else are we talking about? We've already went through my life of depravity and sin that I'm still making for.
Shadow's here, so we can talk more about men in Speedos rolling around on the floor punching each other in the face because they want to have sex.
No.
Don't ask me why they're talking about that.
I don't want to know. I had enough depravity on your show the other night, Bear.
That was intense. That was fucking intense, man. That was crazy.
What show is it?
So there's this. It's gone. I delete my every time I do a live stream. As soon as the live stream is over, I delete it. It's like a concert. You had to be there. Nerds Nerd and Max Boivin are like they would hate fuck. Like they would just hate fuck the way those two connect to each other. Like they drive each other absolutely fucking insane, but it's clear they'd be like the greatest power couple ever. So they were both drunk and felt the need to share way more than they should, which of course encouraged me to share some stuff that I shouldn't. And Shadow just sat there looking shocked.
Taking notes
like techniques, Ooh, hang on, wait till my wife gets back from Mexico and try this out. Yeah, that sounds good.
You know what's crazy?
Just filling out my dossiers on you degenerates.
Dossiers on us degenerates. You coming up? Or you're gonna sit there and stare at me? What are you gonna do? Staring time. Okay.
Actually, it's not. Whatever you what you were just talking about, the hate fuck thing. That's like a real thing.
I'm telling you, it's a real thing between them. I'm not kidding.
They needed to get a room and just get it out of their system.
Well, are they in the same country where at least they could beat each other?
No.
Oh.
No. And more importantly than that, they are so ideologically opposed to each other. It could only be a hate fuck, and then we would need emergency services immediately on scene after, so she doesn't kill him.
Or
notice, I didn't say he'd kill her.
Yeah.
No.
Black Widow.
She would fucking kill him.
Or they'd end up married and having like 9 kids, and
unlikely.
She's already married, really, and yeah, that would never work. Just
yeah.
I mean, unless it was for the insurance money.
We found out way too much.
You never know, man. If nothing else, they'd do it, and then they'd be like, "Yeah, that was nice, but we don't like each other," and they'd go on their way.
But they'd still think about it if it was so good.
But
neither
if it
one of
was
them
really
has that
good,
personality.
they'd be all like, "Oh,
Max wouldn't remember anything as drunk as he was.
All
right, here's what would happen. She might enjoy it and go, there was a time I got some dick. It was good, whatever. He'd become obsessed with her. he would definitely like imprint on her, because he strikes me as a very like love him to tears, lonely guy. You know what I mean? The problem is most women are too girly for him. They're too, they're too soft, and that pisses him off because he fancies himself as this Aurelian stoicist and all this shit. Whereas Nerd would literally laugh at his cock when he pulled it out for the first time. And that would touch something deep inside him that would make him be like, oh, what
He
an
has to
amazing
prove
woman.
himself to her.
Yeah, exactly. She'd
yeah.
challenge him, as a man. Coming up, you're going to fucking just sit there and headbutt my leg. All right, we're headbutting legs.
However,
what Misty's doing.
I have something to add to that, though. Not that Bear likes to think about it too much, but I always point it out. Every single lesbian I've ever known in my life, and that's been a lot, dabbles. Maybe once, maybe twice.
Wait a minute. I don't like. I would like to take this back to Bear doesn't like to think about this. Why would I not like to think about this, James?
Because the last time I mentioned it, I think you were like, nah, you're full of shit.
No, I was not.
Oh, okay. Then never mind.
Man, you live in a fucking fantasy world.
And here I thought I was going to come in and we were going to celebrate the holiday.
You brought it up, you fucking gay man vampire.
Celebrate.
Look, see, I'm wearing poinsettias. I got jingly lights on my neck. Oh, I got my jewelry says Christmas and stuff. I'm trying to be joyous.
Yeah, you're doing it right.
You get an A+.
You're doing it right.
I, on the other hand, own nothing that isn't this color, so this is as festive as I get. Actually, that's not true. I got something out of storage just for you, Bear. Are you still doing a show later?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
It's gonna be a radio
Is it
show.
an ugly sweater?
It's not a panel show.
Oh, okay. Then never mind.
So I'll come see your panel show after, and if you're letting people on, I'll jump on and say hi.
Absolutely.
I'm just doing a radio show tonight.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought you were going to do something.
You can do goth Christmas.
Sorry, which
Janet's obsessing about you.
I said, are you going to do a goth Christmas to Bear your music? Is it going to be goth music, heavy metal?
I made Christmas music. There's tons.
You made
of
actual Christmassy Christmas music.
Yeah, but I also will play hopefully some of the metal I made today for Final Age because it's fucking tight.
Yeah, my only Christmas music tradition is trying to find Shark Island, Santa Claus is coming to town, and then I usually, or maybe some South Park, and then I just play some music off the TV.
Okay.
I think my favorite Christmas song is "Pictures of You" by The Cure.
Oh my god! Jesus Christ!
Off their famous Christmas album, right?
Holly
Disintegration, which is the greatest album ever made.
Stop believing that bullshit from South Park.
I'm not believing it from South Park. I know it to be a fact.
All right. Name all the fucking hits off of Disintegration. I want to hear them.
Oh my god! All the hits: Fascination Street, Pictures of You.
Those aren't hits. Boys Don't Cry, Friday I'm in Love. In between, what's it?
Boys Don't Cry was a single. And the B-side
Fascination
was
Street does not have a single fucking hit on it. Everyone goes on about Disintegration being this greatest album they ever made. And then
you know what? It is the greatest album
song,
ever
Pictures
made.
of You, Close Down, Love Song, Last Dance, Lullaby, Fascination Street, Prayers for the Rain, The Same Deep Water as You, Disintegration, Homesick and Untitled. Maybe Love Song. I'll give you a Love Song.
You know what I'll say? I'll say you're a normie and you don't know shit.
I'm a normie. Okay, well, fine.
That's the problem. Bear's a normie.
Vanilla's my favorite flavor, so fuck me, I guess.
Yeah, you're just a normie. You don't understand shit.
All right, I don't understand anything. I'm
like, go back to your Captain and Tennille already.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
It's funny actually. I was watching a video the other day on YouTube about the hottest female singers of the 70s, and they put Karen Carpenter on the list. And I'm like, that bitch was not hot. What do you want? Crack?
Right? You topped the list out with Linda Ronstadt.
I'm sure she was hot, buddy.
Yeah, she had a great voice, but she was not a good-looking woman.
That would be like putting Shelley Duvall on the list.
Yeah, it'd be weird. Yeah.
Well, she did get married and have a family.
Speak out.
So somebody
Shelley
thought
Duvall.
she was attractive. Yeah, didn't she?
Shelley Duvall got super fat, like super fat,
See? Look at all my
and
kids.
she and why? There we go. Why talk? Janet's doing stuff. Go ahead, Janet.
You can help it. I got a lot of this stuff.
Well, Janet is entertaining.
Janet's the girliest girl we know.
I'm girly. I
Oh
guess I
fuck
am.
yeah, you're like super girly.
These days, that's a rare find, Janet. Take the compliment as a win.
Yeah, take it as a compliment.
I guess I will. All right, sure.
See, in the '90s, girly girls were everywhere. So we were bored. We wanted the gothy chicks and the colored hair chicks and the tattooed chicks and the pierced chicks because they were
I
different.
got tattoos.
Now they're all tattooed chicks. They're all pierced chicks. They're all fucking colored hair chicks. They're all fucking political thinkers and they're all fucking extremists and all that. So girly girls are really, really attractive to men now because it's something fucking different.
And
Am I
chances
wrong,
are
gentlemen?
they're not wearing their damage on their everything.
In their septum.
In their septum, yeah.
Wow.
Chances are their personality is not their disorders.
You
Well,
know,
it's sad.
no one to blame but men.
No one to blame but their stupid mothers
Well,
who either divorced
they
men
always
or didn't
say
get
that
married.
they're,
Yeah.
You mean they're two mom?
Their dads. They blame their dads.
Susan has two moms.
I was just talking to my son this afternoon, and he has a friend. They're really not friends anymore. The most damaged kid you could meet: 3 moms and a father who believes in the Norse mythology as a reality. Just saying, the kid is never
Karen
ever
Carpenter was a good drummer, yeah.
will stand a
Yes,
chance.
yes, she was.
Hello,
She was
pup.
very good.
How's it going, dog? You want to say hi to everybody? I'll turn
Yeah,
it on.
Andre Bear has been making a lot of like music lately, and a lot of
I don't have the
it's been
channel.
really cool.
Go stand
Thank
watch.
you.
I'm waiting for him to go into his like Molat Doma phase and start making like Belarusian goth
Not
music.
happening. I've made some Russian songs, but I'm not making Belarusian goth music.
You know the one, you know, da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, right? And they did the video of all the bats, but they flipped it upside down so the bats look like they're standing up dancing at a goth club to this song. It's hilarious, man.
I've never
I
seen
love it. Yeah. And of course, the song, because, you know, it has to be this way. It's about a guy.
No, I won't look it up just to pass her by. No. Just because you told me to. He's my contrarian.
Yeah, this guy, I tell him a game rules. He immediately tells me to F off.
I do. It's amazing.
never
He says
speak
Hyperborea, and I go, fuck you! Right away. It's insane. It's just.
I'm like, you
Help
know,
yourself.
the game Hyperborea is pretty good.
Fuck you! See what
He's like-
happens? He says that word, and it's like Tourette's.
It's like, I never want to hear about that game again. Like, whoa.
No,
dude.
seriously, I'll sell mine because of James. If anybody wants to buy mine, let me know. It's,
Hey
$40 plus
guys,
shipping.
I know where you can get a
What,
cheap
Star
copy of
Trek games?
Hyperborea.
Fuck you! I can't help it. It's just fucking insane. I should get help.
Bear, just understand that this too shall pass. Like,
I know.
What was the other game?
It's Burning Crusade and Crucible of Dicks and all the other games. The Trench of Bages, Fire Trench. I don't fucking know, man.
Fire Trench. I think that's what we used to call this redheaded chick that hung out.
Ah,
You knew he was going there.
He's been there since I got here today.
She was a nice
He's like
girl.
in a trench.
His oats are being sowed today.
Yeah, apparently.
My oats are not being sowed. All my oats have been sold, and now I have 2 close to 30-year-old daughters and 6 grandchildren. That's right. They
That's
take
right.
after their dad.
Mm-hmm.
which is horrible
So
because I
They
have
take
to
after
deal
you.
with them.
So what? They find something and then obsess about it for 6 months and drive everybody crazy about it. And then they find a new thing to obsess about. Is that how they take after you?
Yeah. Shadow,
They never
you
shut-
shut the F up because it wasn't that long ago you weren't obsessed with Planet of the fucking Apes.
I've been obsessed with Planet of the Apes since I was like 8.
Yeah, but you weren't talking about it.
Because it just got here.
Shadow,
I
you're
haven't done-
worse than I am. Shut up.
I haven't done a video on that particular game in almost 2 weeks.
Wish I had popcorn all of a sudden. Finally, they're going at each other.
And
it's not
Bear
me.
just
Hey,
hates everything. So I mean, you don't got to worry about Bear talking about anything. He hates everything.
Oh,
No,
it's
I'll
really-
talk about my own shit. That's the thing. I'll drive you crazy talking about my shit.
Well, I don't mind you cap, putting in a thing for you. I've already bought all your shit though. So
There's
you
more
need to
coming.
leave me alone about
There's
hyperbole,
more coming.
right? I've been super supportive of your bald ass.
Listen, you fucking hair farmer. I am fine with you talking about the things you love, but you just have to accept I'm going to bust your chops about it because we're buds, and that's what buds do to each other.
Oh, I understand. I just
Shadow, on
want
the
to
other
point
hand-
out, for everyone who likes 40K or 30K, bear in mind that all the bad guys in the 30K universe are bald. Every one of them.
Mhm. Okay.
It's like they found a Confederate soldier frozen in ice and they defrosted him and then gave him a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
No, just
No, with a beard that literally could hide fucking orphans.
Small children.
hair,
Small children live in his
hair,
beard.
long, beautiful hair.
Oh my god, I haven't heard that song. It's the
No
freaking 80s.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about watching that this year.
Well, to
Right.
be fair, you can't really see it, but I have a Confederate officer's cap up there with the bugle. And then I've got my battle banner flag too. I also have a Kentucky Orphan Brigade flag, but I like this one better because it's got Jesus on it. But the Kentucky Orphan Brigade flag is blue and has a red cross on it
Mhm.
because, I don't know why.
We're all picturing it. It's okay.
Well, yeah, you can picture it because I've used it as a thumbnail on some of my videos. You see all the Confederate soldiers like marching, and the guy with the flag has the blue
You did it
flag.
like yesterday, didn't you?
But Bear, Rage Against the Machine's greatest fan.
Fucking hate that band.
Yeah. Anytime anyone mentions Rage Against the Machine, I'm always like, yeah, the best Rage Against the Machine was actually Audio Slave. Because
Fucking
otherwise
hate Rage
they
Against the
just
Machine.
sucked. They
Now,
were-
on the other hand, Richard Cheese Lounge Against the Machine, I'm a big fan of.
You know what's crazy too is Super Kami Rage Against the Machine guitar player plays D&D with Vince Vaughn and the wrestler, what was his name, the Mountain or whatever,
Paul Big Show.
the Big Show. Yeah, they all hang out and play D&D together. And what's weird about it is because Big Show and Vince Vaughn are very conservative, and what's his name, Morello, is practically a communist. But they all hang out and play D&D, man.
Well, they also play with what's his name, Joe
Manganiello.
Mangia, that guy who got divorced, eh? He and
Yeah, got
him
divorced.
him and Carmen Sandiego broke up. Huh, who knew?
Yeah, that's too bad. I kind of thought it would happen though because she's like 10 years older than him.
Well, he's
And
also a super nerd, and she's not.
that spring autumn relationship never works if the woman's the old one. Because eventually the guy's going to hit an age where he wants to have kids, but he's married to a 50-year-old.
Mhm.
It's not going to work. Now, if you
Sunrise.
reverse it, you've got a
sunset.
50-year-old dude with a 20-year-old chick.
Autistic babies on the way.
Well, yeah, maybe. Just tell her not to take a lot of Tylenol, apparently.
Hmm.
I
You,
heard that.
you have a lot of success telling women things there, James?
No. None
No.
at all.
None. Zero.
Ever.
In fact, don't somehow goes through their ear filter to do. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Don't take your love to town. What did Ruby do? She took her love to town.
I generally like she says something and I say awesome, and that's pretty much the way it goes. Whatever you want. I don't
Okay.
care, really.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
The only time that changes is if she wants me to have an opinion and she lets me know.
Does she let you know what your opinion's supposed to be as well?
No, but she lets me know she expects me to have an opinion.
That's fair.
So
Because
have you
every
guys
now
heard
and
that
then-
song? It's called the Man Song.
Yeah, right. Well,
All
every
you
now
guys
and
need to
then,
listen to that song.
what happens, Janet, is every now and then she wants me to be the man, which
Well,
means
that's
to
why she
be-
married a man.
right. So she wants me to be decisive and assertive, right?
Mhm.
But by my
Make a
nature,
decision.
I'm just not really that way too much these days. I'm more of a laid back kind of, whatever, kind of guy, right? So every now and then she'll ask my opinion and I'll be like, are you really wanting my opinion? And if she says yes, then I'll tell her this is what we're going to do. And then she'll be like, okay. But most of the time, I'm just like a jester living in her kingdom.
Mhm.
I just kind of run around and try to entertain her so she don't have me beheaded or thrown out. And I'm okay with that, It's the best relationship I've ever been in. You know how sweet she is? Every time she goes to the store, she brings me a treat.
You know how sweet she is when she walks outside, all the birds go ba ba da.
That's it. Except I'm not sure what her favorite. I think she's a Blackhawks fan, unfortunately. Yeah. Because hockey's her favorite sport too. And I've always been a Bruins fan. So
No, you haven't, you liar. You're just saying that to try and rile me up.
no, really. Well, you're
Oh,
kind
really?
of right. Way back in the
Oh,
day, I
really?
was a Calgary fan because I used to play on PlayStation. And I loved the Calgary uniform and everything. That all red looked really cool, so I chose to play them. But anyway,
Well, I'm just gonna say I got ready to leave, you guys. I'm gonna go get me something to eat for dinner.
Bye,
Merry Christmas.
Janet.
Hey, Janet, you're welcome to come join us on my show after 6
What
p.m. 6 p.m. Pacific
Pacific.
Standard
Uh-huh.
till midnight.
For tonight, you guys are gonna usher in Santa Claus.
Pretty much, yeah.
Is it gonna
I'm
be
here
a
all by
pajama
myself.
party?
He's gonna
pretty-
drug
yeah.
him. Look, he's already put the roofies in the cookie and milk, and then once he's got Santa, he's gonna put him in the basement and make him fucking produce toys for his illegal Etsy shop.
But is it a pajama party?
Come as you like.
Okay.
that's what I always say.
Because I'm thinking about doing it for New Year's. I think it'd be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to probably go try to earn the love and respect of my Korean waifu later.
Okay. Well, you guys have a great night, and if I
Merry
don't see
Christmas, Janet.
you, Merry Christmas. Okay.
Because I picked up part 2 of that game.
Bye, Bear. Bye, Shadow.
Bye, Janet. Take care. Merry Christmas.
Bye, James. See you later. You guys
Hopefully.
are good. Stay out of trouble.
No.
Fuck no.
I've had the house to myself for a week. I got another week to go. Staying out of trouble is not on the agenda.
So those
We're doing
Totino's
versus-
pizzas, boy. You've been going through them, ain't you?
No, actually, I've had nothing but hamburgers for dinner for a week, and I'm going to have another one tonight. I will only break that up tomorrow when I will cook myself a couple of filet mignons and feed one to the dog. Although I
wants
do
a
have a
Ziggy
delivery
cigar,
schedule.
Andre. Duh. Anyone who ever heard the Spice Girls knows what they want, what they really, really want.
They really, really want to say,
Now, I still have no idea what that is, but apparently that's what they really want.
I'm assuming it's penis.
I was going to say money, but with
I'm
which
going to
they-
assume it's rich penis. I'm going to assume
We're
it's
halfway.
penis with a gold card.
And if you want to be their lover, you got to
Hey,
get
what's
with
up, Squirrel?
their friends.
Come
Which
join
it
us.
sounds
Squirrel.
like a
Sorry,
big
buddy.
fucking group grope.
Squirrel Hermit. Hey, what's up? Hermit?
Whoa, where?
Because it's like, if you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends. And I'm like,
Okay.
Yeah, apparently to women that means something completely different than what it means to men. Or maybe
yeah,
it
'cause
doesn't.
I'm
I
like,
don't know.
are you asking me to bang your friends?
Well,
Because I mean, there's a couple of them I might give a shot, but there's a couple of them, no way.
last Christmas I gave you my heart. You held it up and said Kalima. It burst into
Right.
flames.
I saw that being
man,
really
somebody
interesting.
posted a meme and it was that guy reading a fortune cookie and it was like, "You will touch many hearts." That just
I
cracked
didn't
up.
see that one. I saw the other one this morning.
Yeah, that was so good. You will touch.
Hold on just a second, guys. I'll be right back.
Oh shit, my show starts in 7 minutes. I gotta go.
Your show starts in 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, I guess my show ends in 4.
Well, I will see y'all later. Merry
All right, I'll
Christmas
stick
to you
around.
all.
Sorry, Squirrel. I was here when your phone call. Take care, Bear. I'll bop in and say hi in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, if Bear's got a show coming up, then I'm going to end mine. Because
Good seeing you today. How's your brother?
have that much really super important to say, really, other than the fact that I'm putting together these Saturnine Terminators and painting a Conan.
You didn't hear me. I said, how's your brother?
How is my brother? I don't know. Piece of shit, because he never showed up to my show.
Hmm.
But then again, he's probably at my mom's.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is the Merry Not Orthodox Christmas show.
What's up, Cole?
Which is so awesome because, like, when everyone else is freaking out, I'm just cool as a cucumber, man, because I know I got plenty of time before Christmas.
My show is just a 6-hour hangout. There's a lot of us in the community that are, alone or what have you, and this is the first time I'll actually be alone in living memory. So I figured, I'll hang out with all my friends who are, at home by themselves.
This is the first time he's gonna be alone in living color in the 20th century.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't been alone since, like,
Carthage.
Since the Turks invaded Carpathia. That was a rough time for Shadow.
Take care, Coco. Enjoy. Be safe on the roads. I hear it's snowing up there like crazy, so it's raining here 24 hours straight so far. Flash flood warnings. And me without a surfboard.
Yeah. And down here, it's just 70 and a little chilly. But I ended up buying that freaking Korean game that I beat part 1 of.
Oh, okay.
So I'm playing part 2. And of course, they added like more women to the game, but I'm all like, no. I've got to be loyal to my original waifu. So, because that's how I am. I'm a loyal man.
I see that.
I've got my wife, and then I've got my Korean wife, who is probably married, honestly. I mean, she's like a 40-year-old woman who was a supermodel in Maxim magazine and all that for a while before she decided to pretend to be like a big boobied Korean. Well, she is a big boobied Korean, but before she started being in video games. So, But anyway, how have you been?
Okay, except for the back issue. It's starting to get better enough to where I can probably hang sitting down for 6 hours. Nice.
Yeah, you really can't see them very well because I'm shaky and they're not focusing in.
Yeah,
Oh, there
I
you go.
I gotta wonder with stuff like that if it might not be better to paint them and then put them on the base.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're going to be red with gold trim and a
Yeah,
banner.
it seems like it could be difficult getting the brush in there
Nah,
at certain
look at
angles.
all that
Maybe
space.
not. Okay, if there's space below
These
it,
are Saturnine Terminators,
nice.
which means they're an earlier version of Terminator battle armor. And this is an officer stand. That's why you've got, like, two guys with power axes and the officer with a power hammer and, the banner and whatever. And then they come in units of 4. So 4 bases of 3. And one of the 4 bases is the officer stand. And then so there's two Terminator units basically, and there's 4 Saturnine dreadnoughts, and that's the size of the
Hmm.
So it's basically super old tech that existed during the age of
Horse.
the age of dark technology.
Oh,
So like in 40K, you would never see these guys. If you ever did see Saturnine Terminators on the table in 40K, the head canon would have to be that they're 10,000-year-old suits that you've had guys working on nonstop just to keep functioning. Um, Whereas the tactical dreadnought armor that everybody's used to, that can still be produced in some, Martian Forge worlds. Just takes them a while because they don't really understand what they're doing.
I always find that so funny. Um, that that they could that they can kind of maintain the tech, but at the same time they don't really. It just seems kind of silly. You'd think that it would either all collapse or they would have people who knew what was going on, knew how to maintain it, knew how to build it, etc. Otherwise, it's really just a slow grind to back into a real dark age.
Well, okay. I can actually explain this in a very easy, simple way to understand, right? Uh-oh. You got packages? Nice. Um, it's not that they don't understand how to build it. It's that they turned the entire idea of building it into religious ritual.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of looking at blueprints and thinking, okay, scientifically the way we would, they consult the holy whatever, and then they light incense and they do a bunch of crazy shit. And at the end of the whole ritual, you might have a suit of armor. So they do actually know how to maintain the shit, but they've made a religion out of it.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. It made it sound like they don't build it, and that's
Well, the
literally
Saturnine
not
dreadnought, I
feasible.
think the ability to build them got lost.
Right. In which case
Because
they
some
gotta
technology just gets lost. And once it's lost,
sure, if that particular Forge world that has the only, you know,
yeah, it gets whacked
factory.
by orcs or something. And,
Sure,
sorry
but
about
they've
it.
got to keep building and innovating and at least building. Otherwise, they will eventually go down that.
Well, hold on now. Watch out there. You keep building, but you don't innovate.
That to me also sounds like how could you not be part of that process and not come up with an idea here or there, and bring it to your superior and go, hey, if we did this, things will be faster or better or
Because this
more
is
efficient.
40K and innovation is pretty much like heresy. You don't do it because what? Do you think you're superior mentally than the emperor? You think you can make something better than the emperor did?
Well, even then, if that's the case, at least he should be coming up with ideas to improve.
Well, in
efficiency.
40K, he's on the golden throne and doesn't speak.
Yeah.
So when Belisarius Call and Rabo Gilliman came out with the new stupid freaking Space Marines and everything like that, a lot of Space Marine commanders and shit saw it as pure heresy. What's that, my love?
So they sent me this in a small instead of an extra large.
Do we know somebody that wears a small we can give it to?
I don't know. You think it might fit me?
It might. I mean, it's nice. I mean, it's got the Orthodox cross and Jesus Christ conquered death. It's nice. I mean, that's what the skull under the cross represents.
Well, this is supposed to be a present for you. I'm gonna have to reorder it, obviously.
Well, I'm not fitting in a small. A large maybe, but not a small. If it won't fit you, it might fit the daughter. It might fit a lot of people. One of the presents she ordered me, as you heard, came in small instead of. But it's just a shirt with the Orthodox skim on it, so the cross and the Greek that says Jesus Christ conquered death, and underneath there's the skull.
What happened to the flag? Is it just because the camera is tighter or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's just the way the camera is.
It's like, what the hell?
It's right there.
Okay, and now I can also see the Confederate flag behind it.
Well,
That couldn't be poor.
That's my ball cap.
Oh, okay.
I wear my ball cap like sometimes if I add Twitch onto the stream,
Right.
that's when you always see me wearing the ball cap,
Okay.
because I want to make sure that any Twitch people who pop up and see the stream, it runs them off. You know what I mean? Because they do that Confederate battle banner ball cap, and immediately they're like, "Yeah, I'm out." And the ones that hang out, then I know they're probably cool guys, and you know they're not going to be like away, you know, about some shit, like because the last thing I want in my life is some Twitch nerd trying to talk shit to me about how dare you wear that flag. It's like, fuck off, you know. I mean, how dare you question me? How daring you? I mean, you know, it's like that is my heritage.
Yeah.
And I have been raised my whole life to believe very strongly that you will always honor your ancestors. And if you honor your ancestors will honor you in this life. So,
yeah, I don't know who those people are, but okay.
Well, you don't have to know. You don't have to know who your ancestors are to honor them. And so, anyway, so these people who have just completely disconnected themselves from their ancestral history and everything, I don't give a shit what they say. It's like they're nothing. They're nothing. They're no one. They have no roots. They have no Rodinia, and therefore they will have no future.
I disagree. I have no way of tracking down any of the names of any of my ancestors. There's no way I can do that. I wish I could.
There is a way you could do that.
How?
I don't know.
I've tried everything. I have no names to start with. I can give my DNA to what the hell is that company? No, like Ancestry or whatever. But
yeah, they're owned by the Mormons.
Yeah, that sounds like some
here, Shadow. You are a special case then.
I've spent the last 15 years trying to find out.
But at least you do kind of have a future in your son.
Yeah.
And then your son, because you can't, because of a special case, your son needs to honor his ancestors, you and his mother and grandmother.
He's doing that right now in Mexico as we speak. Taking in the culture and the family and being there for a wedding and the.
Okay, so basically, you agree 100% with me. It's just you have a different situation.
Yeah, I've literally tried the one living family member that I have and that I can speak with. is tried as well for even longer, and they just, it's like when they came to this country, they burned all ties and records of where they came from, etc. And
Yeah, I think we all know where they came from, Shadow.
well, that's only half.
And I think we know when they came. It is probably around 1946.
Something like that. Hold on a second. I think I got a delivery.
It is like Shadow's ancestors were the ones that decided not to go to Argentina. They're like, nah, let's just go to America. That's funny, but whatever. See, my ancestors I know a lot about because us hillbillies up here, we keep track of that shit for whatever reason. It's like a big deal. We keep track 100%, like first cousins, second cousins, third cousins, first cousins, second removed, all that shit. And I can track my ancestry back to 1600 and something. Actually, further than that, I can track on my paternal grandfather's side back to 1500 something, Alsace, Germany, which I think now it's Alsace, France, but back then it was Alsace, Germany. And I know that my family moved to America in 1600 and something, and I know they moved to Kentucky in that same time period, 1600 and something, and they were there, since then. So they fought in the Revolutionary War and every other war. And so my family being in America predates America, right? But I mean, I don't, that's just how it worked out. You know what I mean? It just worked out that way. I'm not trying to say that makes my family superior than anyone else, because what happened is a bunch of hillbillies moved to Kentucky and then refused to leave. And it's just been that way for, hey, Doc, or that might be from a long time ago. I don't even know. And it just turned out that, yeah, they moved to Kentucky and then they just wouldn't leave. But back to more fun things. The thing with 40K that people don't seem to understand, or 30K, right, is it's actually hard science. Everything that's going on in 40K is based on hard science. The problem is when you read a 40K book, you're reading it narrated from people who exist within the universe, and they don't understand exactly the hard science behind things because they've turned science into a religion. And so that's why it's like, if you're a tanker, you got to light the holy incense, and then you've got to anoint the engine with the proper holy oil, and then you've got to pray over the promethium, and you've got to do the ritual of activation and blah blah blah. I mean, in reality, what does that even mean? You lit some incense, you made sure the lubricant levels were all good, you filled the tank, and you turned it on, and now you're ready to go. That's no different than what we did when I was in the Army, except they add this whole layer to it, right? So yeah, the only part of 40K that's not hard science is the artificial gravity, because there can never be artificial gravity, and faster than light travel, because we have no evidence that faster than light travel could ever be possible. And honestly, it probably couldn't. I was watching a theory the other day about aliens where it was like, even if aliens existed, we'll never know, because the technology to cross such vast distances of space will never happen. So we could literally be just pinpoints of life scattered throughout a universe that will never in a billion years be able to actually interact. Now, I know Shadow's one of those positive guys that hopes one day we come up with a way to do it. But unfortunately, science as we know it today says no. It's not.
Well, I don't think it's even science, to be honest. I think we've learned from the great experiment that is this country that if we were ever to finance such a thing, the first thing they would do would be to declare their independence and take our stuff and say, "Thanks, we're going to trek out on our own, and you can get bent."
Unless we were stronger than them. In which case, we would immediately do to them what we did to the Indians, and it would. I mean, so either way,
there's no profit.
The dark forest theory.
The profit that could be made would be such a short term thing. It's just a matter of time before, if we were to spread out to one planet, then we would spread out to several, and eventually Earth would get none of the benefits other than trade, and even then,
Oh yeah, and then
no taxes, there'd be no citizenship.
Start a colony on Mars, right? Over the course of a couple hundred years, the Martians are going to be totally different looking than we would be. They're going to be taller. They're going to be skinnier. They might be paler because they're going to have to live underground the whole time.
Sure.
So what would happen then is the Martians would be like America, and Earth would be like Britain.
Exactly. And we'd say
1700s. It would be like
there was I used to have this
being ruled by those assholes, however many million miles away we are, and so you end up with that.
And that investment would be, it would be a long time coming before they made their money back, and they wouldn't have the citizens doing their will. And
yeah, because I was reading a thing. It was funny because it mentioned Elon Musk in it, and they were talking about the actual colonization of Mars, and a big part of it was that we have these visions of like these Martian cities, like domes with glass and stuff. But the reality is we would be digging deep underground and building subterranean bases.
Yeah, we have to.
What you did to the Indians is they lost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no. The natives deserved to lose. They were a bunch of Neolithic people that freaking did horrible shit and worship demons. So, I mean, it is what it is. And especially the further south and west you go, the more horrible they are. The fact that we let any of them survive at all is, I think, you can look at that and say, man, the Europeans were pretty benevolent overall, because I mean, there's so much history of like cultures just completely genociding other cultures out, right? At least we were kind of like, oh, you're going to surrender? Okay, we'll let you live then. But didn't have to. I mean, we definitely had the technology to completely erase those bad boys right off the planet. Merry Christmas to you, Humphrey. But, it would be like, yeah, it's like, okay, some Scandinavians, Swedes, whatever they were, they settled or took over whatever Kiev, because I refuse to call it Kiev. I never will call it Kiev. They can
what the hell is that nonsense? Why?
It's because the Ukrainians are trying to
rebrand themselves as not.
They're trying to rebrand Kiev to Kiev, which is stupid because it's always been the Kievan Rus from Kiev. Right. I mean, so what? You're going to whine because the Vikings came down and conquered some Slavs and then over time created a world superpower? We're going to cry because we landed over here, fought a bunch of wars, and become a world superpower? I mean, no. Plus, it would also be disrespecting my ancestors who come over in the 1600s and 1600 and something, I should say. And, I'm pretty sure probably wiped a bunch of Indians out in Kentucky and North Carolina in that region. And, because that's what you did back then. And I'm, just like Thomas McKee, who was a major in the Kentucky Orphan Brigade, right? I'll never be ashamed of him. Major Thomas McKee, he's a relative of mine. He fought for the South. And so I can never be ashamed of this man, He's a relative. It's like, too many people want to disown their culture, their people, everything. It's like, dude, no. Be proud of your culture, whatever it is. Unless you're an Aztec, in which case you should be kind of ashamed of your culture. You guys are assholes. But not just the Aztecs. It's all of those Indians from the Southwest, every one of them. Whether it's Paiutes, Utes, freaking Navajo, it doesn't matter. I don't know what the hell it is, but all of the Indian tribes in the Southwest U.S. and then down were freaking maniacs. The Comanches, Apaches, Kiowa, they were all just like crazy, bloodthirsty, slaving, human sacrificing bastards, The one thing they all have in common is they all believe that they migrated to the surface from a cave system deep underground. And that's why the idea of Agartha is still something that some people like bandy about, Like, did they come from deep underground?
That makes no sense. I mean, as we know it, all life needs sunlight and water and space to move around, etc. It, all the best, strongest life forms need those things. Except sharks. Fuck sharks.
Well, then have I got some interesting stuff for you, my man. Did you know there's more water locked within the stone of the earth?
Oh yeah.
Enough that it could fill every ocean 3 times over.
Mm-hmm.
And there is water underground. I've been in caves and actually seen it. But the theory that let's pick one at general, let's say Navajo. Their theory was that they came from a cavern of pure darkness where they were being fed on by monsters and stuff. And there were millions of humans, but one of the leaders led them away. And then they went to a cavern that had red light. And they lived there for a while, but then eventually the leader said they had to move on, but some stayed behind. And then they climbed up to a cavern that had blue light. And they lived there for a while, but then eventually kept going and some stayed behind. And eventually they breached the surface to this world.
Yeah, that's... I got to ask
Now,
what they were
what
smoking.
created the light?
Yeah, I got to ask what they were smoking in those peace pipes. Just saying, because that's some crazy shit.
But what? Okay, but I have to ask you though. Why is it crazy?
Well, like I said before, you need sunlight and a steady and ready food source. Besides, blind fish and mushrooms and roots.
Why not blind fish, mushrooms, and roots? That's everything you'd ever need right there.
I can't picture them doing anything other than getting better and stronger once they got to the surface of the planet. Maybe they were, like,
Well, we do know, according to them, that the lowest cave was full of monsters that actually devoured the humans.
And Exxon and Mobil and Shell haven't accidentally dug into those caves somehow and, found them,
Dude, do you think they'd tell you if they did?
I think back in the early days they would have. Now, of course not. But back in the early days of, drilling
it's like
for
that
oil.
one dude that supposedly had that echolocation machine, and he claims that LA is like completely freaking a catacomb of tunnels underneath it all over the hill.
I've heard that, and I've seen the supposed entrances into certain places like that, but you know, could be. But if you find out they're going to kill you, or you're going to get lost, or you're going to get killed some other way, and it's going to be kept a secret. There are some, and in my
Do
opinion, too
you
many.
believe in the possibility of there being an opening in the North and South Pole that may lead into the interior of the Earth?
Maybe it's great for sci-fi and fantasy writing and storytelling, but there are a bunch of secrets that we're never going to know, not in mortal form, anyways. And there's nothing we can do about it. There's not enough of us
So you're
to.
not disagreeing, but you're like, so they were the original dungeon crawlers, yes, and they're not the only ones.
Yeah,
The
yeah. The
Aztecs
argument.
believed that the original humans came from this cavern that had 7 chambers, and
I'm
like
familiar with
each
the
of the
story.
chambers was different. But
Yeah,
eventually,
like Xibalba.
yeah, something like that. And then, of course, supposedly there is an entrance to Agartha in Tibet, but the monks keep it hidden and guard it and won't let anybody near it. And then what even Agartha
Yeah, I was
is,
watching this video the
no
other
one
day.
can agree on.
There's like more than 20 different lost mythical worlds or ancient civilizations, from Shangri-La to Atlantis, etc., that people have talked about, etc. It's one of those secrets that they're moot. They're even if they are real, we'll never know, and to try and find out would cost you your last breath. Is it worth it?
This is just 2 bros talking about shit.
I know. It bums me out because we've let the powers that be too long, to where they can control literally anything and everything that we're allowed to know for no justifiable reason. Like I was talking about Gobekli Tepe and Karen Tepe just the other night. These ancient civilizations they dug up and quickly then pretty much just buried them back up. Said you can't go, you can't look at it. It's like that place in the along the Colorado River in the Grand Canyon.
Right.
You can't go there. You try to go there, they kill you.
Or it's like if you want to mess around with any of the mounds built in Ohio and other areas, it's like there's something buried in the mounds. We know there is, but we're not allowed to look.
Yeah, why? I mean,
because for some reason, modern science, technology, whatever, has decided that anything that happened more than 10,000 years ago, we're not allowed to know.
mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much what it is. That's like their cutoff, 10,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Anything much older, and they're like, oh, no.
Which is really weird because, with the secularism that is, overtaken the planet, you'd think that they'd want to, show us that stuff so that we'd stop, believing in like the Bible or Christianity or things like that, and use those things against that and go, see, look, everything's older and different than we were taught, and here's more reasons to not believe the other things. Here's some new stuff to believe in.
What you're saying, Shadow, and I apologize, but I have to cut you off. There is nothing they could show us would disprove the Bible.
No, but they could try to use it, and there would be a large number of people that would buy into it, and thus,
maybe not.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna. That could be my delivery. My dog's going nuts.
But yes, basically they were, well, not so much dungeon crawlers as they were crawling from one massive cavern to another. And according to their myths, they called these caverns worlds. So they came up from the black world and they went through, I think, the red world and then the blue world. And then eventually they got to this world. And there are some people who say that the Navajo originally migrated from Alaska. So what they're describing as the black world and the red world and the blue world is like just the different climates they passed through as they were traveling into the desert. And who knows? That could be true. I mean, or not. I mean, or not. But the point is, there's a lot of shit going on out there. I mean, there's people who swear up and down that the Nazis built a freaking functioning base under the Antarctic, and that there's still some there, you know, and there are people who talk about how you can enter the inner Earth from the Arctic Circle, you know. And then there's people who talk about all these cave systems that could lead to the inner Earth, one of which is in my beautiful home Commonwealth, the great Commonwealth of Kentucky. Apparently, Mammoth Cave is supposedly one of the routes that, if you follow it deep enough, leads into the interior. And what they think is that some people think there's 4 globes like on the inside of Earth. So it's literally like a Russian nesting doll with gaps between each of these, you know, things, so that there could be things in there. And then other people think that what we think is a nickel iron molten core spinning around is actually a small star on the inside of the Earth. I am not going to sit here and say I believe any of it, but it's interesting, right? It's very interesting. And there's even some people who think that when Adam and Eve were cast out of the garden, they weren't cast out of any particular place on Earth. They were cast out of the inner Earth into the outer Earth. And so basically, Agartha or the Hollow Earth or whatever would be Eden, you know. But hey, I don't know, man. Like I said, it's just a weird, interesting kind of thing you can think about, talk about, be like, that's an interesting kind of thing. I mean, blame the Greeks. They kind of are the first ones that started talking about it, really. But like every culture on the planet mentions something to do with a hollow earth. Pretty much, they have different names for it, but they all mention it. You know what I mean? It's like the flood. Almost every single culture on the planet mentions the flood. It's like Hyperborea, the wonderful role-playing game that I love so much right this second, and probably forever, maybe. The Greeks said that beyond the north wind, the Boreas, there was a land that was beautiful and green and Apollo and blah, 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 right? Well, in the game Hyperborea, the land of Hyperborea, instead of sinking under the earth, which is what some people said, actually got transported around Saturn by, you know, great old ones, whatever, Desagua and crew. So that's how they justify that. Anyway, I'm going to have to take off here in a second. Bear's on. Shadow's going to do his thing. I dropped on to do my thing. My wife bought a wonderful apple crumble thing. I'll tell you what, I am an all-American because I do love apple pie, you know. I like cherry pie too, but every time I eat cherry pie, I always sing that song to my wife, and I think it embarrasses her. Who did that song? Cinderella? But yeah, I'll be eating my cherry pie and I'll be like, she's my cherry pie. My wife's just like, shut up. Every time. And I'm like, every time, baby. I will love you forever and ever. So, yeah. But anyway, Andre, the thing that's wild about this is, again, the Navajo story I know pretty well, but they're not the only one that think they're not the only culture that says that humanity came from caverns deep under the earth, right? And even if the earth wasn't hollow, let's say the earth isn't hollow at all. That's just a bunch of bullshit someone made up, right? That doesn't change the fact that there could be massive, miles long, tall, wide, whatever caverns under there, so big that they could actually support an an environment, an ecology, ecosystem, or whatever, right? And there could be water and fish and maybe some light source, maybe some kind of mineral that glows, or I don't know, a volcanic vent, or what the hell ever. I mean, I'm not super imaginative, so I can't think of what it could be, but it could be. And maybe humanity could have came from there somehow. Now, in the H.P. Lovecraft story, The Mound, the humans that lived way under the earth in the caverns, they lived in the Blue Cavern, and they were the progenitors of all surface dwellers, right? They had came across the stars from their original world. I think it was Tulu, they called, that had brought them. And they had been in a lower cavern and worked their way up to the Blue Cavern. And then over time, they had kind of stopped worshiping Tulu and started worshiping the Sagua. I'd have to reread the story, but it's pretty evident that whenever Lovecraft wrote that story, he had been reading a lot of Navajo myth, right? Because he even mentions like the colored caves and stuff like that. So, yeah, pretty obvious. He had been inspired. Kind of like the Greenlanders that live in Hyperborea, the game, were all cultists of Cthulhu before they got transported to Hyperborea. And that's funny because in the actual story, the Call of Cthulhu, one of the professors actually mentions how there were Cthulhu cults amongst the Eskimo of Greenland. And then in the actual game, sure as shit, there are Cthulhu cults amongst the Eskimo of Hyperborea. And, so it's funny how they try and make it all connect together. But also, I was watching Y-Files last night, and the Y-Files guy did a whole thing on the Hollow Earth. And, he went off, man. Dude totally went off. He busted loose. He was talking about, how things could be or how they couldn't be. If you don't like the Y-Files, then, maybe you wouldn't care about it. But I am a huge fan. And I even like Hecklefish quite a bit, Hecklefish blames everything on lizard people or serpent people. That's Hecklefish's answer to every weird thing that ever happens on Earth. Serpent people or lizard people. But they were talking about the Hollow Earth theory, and then they were talking about how more often than not, when we discuss UFOs, the UFOs don't come from outer space. They seem to come from certain mountain ranges or from under the ocean, stuff like that. So the theory is, what if the aliens are not from out there, but from under here? And what if they've been here as long, if not longer, than we have? Well, I would say at least as long, not longer, though. And, what if they're not friendly? You know? So, and what if all of this is bullshit?
All I got to say is beware the crab cat.
Yeah, the crab cat is real. But yeah, that's kind of why I went off on that, Shadow. You heard me saying I watched I watched one of his compilations, and the first one was The Hollow Earth. And he
Yeah, I
did have
used to
a
watch
lot of
him.
evidence for why it could be real. And he also had a lot of evidence for why it couldn't be.
Yeah. I used to watch the show a lot. I even got the idea for a really cool sci-fi RPG scenario, but then I stopped watching it because uh, there's something about him and the show. Have you ever watched his after parties?
Mm-mm.
He's a completely different guy there.
How do you mean?
He acts completely different. It's
Uh,
hard to put a finger on it, but he's got like a completely different personality when he's doing the after, when he's like either being himself or playing a different part. But the show is uh kind of astroturfed in a way. It came out of nowhere and is the biggest show in that genre, if you will. When there are, literally thousands, if not tens of thousands of other shows doing the same thing, but they're not as polished and well financed. And I
and
got
they
to ask,
also don't have a heckle fish.
okay, but that can't count for millions of subscribers over the other 10,000 shows out there that are, like in the trench doing things with, their own research and their own, visual evidence, photographs and videotapes and things like that. And they're just completely crushed by, circumstance that just doesn't make sense. And to be honest, most of that stuff uh, is uh, just a bunch of wishful thinking, in my opinion. It would be nice and cool and interesting if 1/100th of that shit was true, but it's either again being suppressed or it's just not true, and it's used to distract us from worrying about what's going on in Congress and the Senate and things like that.
So, like climate change.
All that shit, it's all
It's not really true, but it distracts us from what is real.
yeah, or Israel, if you're that kind of guy.
I am the kind of guy that neither loves nor hates Israel,
Yeah,
but
I'm
I
completely.
also don't like ticks on my hound. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, and I don't care what these ticks are. If they're on my hound, I want them gone.
Yeah.
So basically, what I'm saying, I'll say it in so many words so everybody understands exactly. America should not be spending our wealth for anyone else because fuck them.
Exactly. I'm completely indifferent.
And also, I'm not sure necessarily how it's going to work out for us to take part in a holy war that's been going on since the 6th century.
Yeah.
However, given the choice of Jews and Muslims, I would take Jews, mainly because they're less capable, really, of killing us.
And the other group is intent on killing us. So
and,
yeah.
And no, they're not intent on killing us. According to the Talmud, they're more intent on enslaving us. Because the purpose
That's not.
of
That's not a.
that's not a
That's not a better alternative. You know.
right.
Uh,
But see, the problem people don't seem to understand is Judaism, as people think it is not. It's not the way you think it is, because a lot of Jewish people are Talmudic Jews. Like Ben Shapiro is Talmudic Jew, right? And the Talmud, or the books of wisdom, and the Zophar, they teach that non-Jewish people don't actually have real souls. The only reason we were created was to serve them, etc., etc., etc. It's very racist, right?
yeah, they can go get fucked with that shit.
Right. And
My-
then,
my-
of course, you have your normal Jewish guys that they don't get into Talmudism or any of that. And that's the real issue, having been in the life. That's the real issue, because your normal Jewish guys, they're just Jewish guys. But the problem is the normal non-satanic Jewish guys will always side with the satanic Talmudists because of tribalism, right? It's like when people in America are like, they'll ask the question, why are so many Jewish people in government? And they're like, well, how do you answer that? Is it corruption? Not really. Is it because
it's not corruption. It's
tribalism.
Even more than that. If you want power, you go to where you get power.
Right. Tribalism, though. See, like Anglos, Slavs, etc., living in America, we don't see each other as a tribe. We see each other as individuals. Therefore, if Shadow wants to be a congressman, Shadow's going to have to work his ass off to do that, and he might earn my vote or he might not. But if Shadow's last name was Shadowstein and my last name was McKee's Gold, then if Shadow wants to run for Congress, he's got my vote. No questions asked. So tribalism is what allows such a tiny minority of people to keep rising to positions of power, because it's almost like nepotism.
Well, it is.
But on a huger scale.
Well, yeah, and they are all related.
Well, I don't even know if that's true. I mean, whatever.
That was a joke.
But I mean, and see, these thoughts are why I converted to Christianity. Because as I got older, because I started out with Judaism when I was very young. And then I got older and I just started asking questions like, like, this doesn't seem right. Like, why would God love one group of people more than everyone else? That doesn't seem right. You know what I mean? So the more I thought about it, the more I started thinking, if they're right, God is kind of evil. And then I started looking around and I found what I found, and I realized we may not even worship the same God, because at no point in the Bible, the original Bible, does Jesus ever mention a Yahweh. It is never mentioned. Yahweh is not mentioned. The first Bible, written 1,000 years before any Bible, was written in Kini Greek, and Yahweh is not mentioned. And what they used to call Hebrew in the Old Testament wasn't Hebrew, it's Aramaic, because the Hebrew language was dead even then. And modern day Hebrew, they did not rebirth Hebrew. They just stole a bunch of loan words from every other language and call it Hebrew. But it's not Hebrew. Whatever the ancient Hebrews spoke, we'll never know. It's dead. It's never coming back. Tribalism is favoring yourself and your perceived team. It's pretty natural, except white people do not do it. In the United States, white people never form a team. And this is one thing that some people have said, and they're right. Every group of people.
Well, no, it's not entirely true. It's just that when we do, we get labels slapped on us.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Every team, the Hispanics can say they're working for the Hispanic community. The blacks can say they're working for the black community. Asians can say they're working for the Asian community. The Martians can claim they're working for the Martian community, right? But if white people decide they want to work for their community, they're automatically attacked from every angle.
I think we're going to see a big change in that in the new year, and I got no problem with any of the isms they want to call us, because in my opinion they can hop right on that horse they got in and toddle right the fuck off because I don't care no more. And as long as there is one homeless veteran or homeless American, I don't think we should send a goddamn dime to anybody else. We have the ability.
Where they messed up, and by they, I just mean government, whatever, is they have spent so many generations calling white men evil that they don't understand that they created Nick Fuentes and all the groypers and all the people like him.
Yeah, maybe it's time we
he is a symptom to the shit they did.
And they want that. And maybe it's time we give them what they want.
I don't know if they want that, but they created it. You know, it's like anything else. If you're playing with fire, you got to be careful, because if you're not, it will get out of hand.
The quote unquote social engineers that are trying to do the things that are being done, they're gonna get
they're going to
more
get
than they bargained for. There's a reckoning coming, and it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Your average American white dude is some of the best, nicest people you're ever going to meet, right? But if you kick them every time they're down, you're going to see a different side of your average American white dude. You're going to see the side of a guy who will cross a frozen river on Christmas Eve to cut a bunch of people's throats. And that's what they've done. They've demonized the actual good Anglo white man so much that they're bringing out the bad side of us. And like I said, Nick Fuentes, he is just the symptom.
Mm-hmm.
He's nothing. He might even be an FBI plant for all I know. But I'm saying the reality is, though, that, like modern Zoomer men don't take all that shit the way my generation did. And I noticed stuff in my generation, like, you get called a racist for pointing it out, but like you, I no longer care. But it's like, why is it that every time the television comes on and there's a commercial, it's an intermixed couple?
Well, because that's how you get a homogenous one race to fuel your one world government.
Okay, I don't know if that's true, but I asked the question, why would that be? And why these people seem to think they're underrepresented, in spite of the fact that they're in every movie, every TV show, every commercial, but they make up literally less than 12% of the population. But they're in 100% of the everything.
That's here in the States. Elsewhere, we're outnumbered 100-1.
Right. But I'm just talking about America, right? So I'm like sitting here and I'm watching TV with the wife, and every couple is mixed race. If it's not a white woman with a black dude, it's a white dude with an Asian woman.
Yep.
And sometimes a black guy with an Asian woman. But it's almost never.
If it's not a lesbian or gay couple,
it's almost never just two black people or two white people. But more often it will be two black people. But almost never will it be two white people. And see, our generation, we were just too polite and too afraid of being called racist to say anything about it. But this younger generation that's coming up, they're not. Because they've already been called racist their whole lives. So now they're
not only that, but they're also seeing that that their ability to own a home and live the American dream is being shoved out for Sharia law.
Oh, bro. Do you hear about all the crazy shit happening down here in Florida?
Got to be more specific. It is Florida.
It is Florida. The Church of Scientology has apparently been buying up so much land that they now own like 1/3 of Florida. Because one of their main headquarters is Clearwater, Florida.
Hmm.
And they've just been running around buying up all the land, right? And it's like, is this legal? I mean, no, I don't know. I don't know if it's legal or not for this cult to buy up all this land, but they're doing it.
It doesn't sound like it's in the state's best interest. I'm really surprised, between things like that and all the land bought by China, why we don't just take it back and tell them to go, suck it.
We will when the time comes, because we'll have no choice but to do that. But yeah, it's like, okay, this is a cult that has actively worked against U.S. government. When they did Operation Oyster, whatever, and they infiltrated the IRS and stole a bunch of information and everything. And now, not only are we allowing them to exist tax-free, but they're buying up everything, right? Meanwhile, in most of Europe, Scientology is against the law. Like, it's just not even allowed because it's viewed as the dangerous freaking organization that it is, right? But over here, we're all like, whatever. It's so yeah, they're buying up freaking tons of property in Florida. But anyway, back to the whole thing. Yeah, you are right. There's many lands that supposedly sank, some of which are mentioned in the Bible, like Mu.
No, Mu wasn't mentioned in the Bible.
It isn't?
No.
Is it mentioned just by the Greeks then?
I don't even think that, to be honest.
No, Mu is mentioned in some of those storylines because they were at war with Lemuria. And Lemuria was at war with Atlantis. And supposedly they all sank at the same time.
No, the Atlantis is definitely not mentioned in the Bible.
No, Atlantis is definitely not mentioned in the Bible. That's Plato and crew.
And made up.
Or not. You don't know.
I did the deepest of dives, and there's literally nothing but wishful thinking and Nazi paganism that supports any sort of
paganism. I thought the Atlanteans were dark skinned.
Or whatever Madame Blavatsky was, and some of the other people.
Madame Blavatsky is not a Nazi. She was a Russian weirdo. She was into that theosophy, which is Aleister Crowley's kind of bullshit.
Yeah. There's literally no.
I mean, because if the Nazis were going to be in love with any of those ancient cultures, it would definitely be the Hyperboreans, who were all 7 foot tall blonde dudes.
Yeah, it's there's literally.
Madame Blavatsky's full shit. She was just latching on to shit that Crowley
and literally making shit up out of whole cloth. Just
right. But okay, I will ask you this before I go, Shadow, because I know you're doing your thing. Bear's doing his thing, and I've already been whatever. But I mean, people can go watch Bear. I won't be offended. How do you prove or disprove anything that happened more than 10,000 years ago? Literally anything.
Well, you say
Madame Blavatsky was a lying bitch, and I'll be like, yeah, I think you're right. But
there's no written documentation of it.
I'm pretty sure Plato and some of the other Greeks did write about it.
Plato made it up, and then people wrote about it afterwards.
again, you're doing the thing that I don't want you to do. You're saying Plato made it up. You can't prove he did.
His students believed that it was not a real thing,
That also does not prove whether it was.
and there's no mention of it anywhere prior to Plato, and there would be places to find it, like in Egypt where he claimed he got the information from. There's no written documentation of it anywhere prior to Plato, and Plato
Except
said,
kind of there is. The Egyptians believed that they were migrants from another land, and that is written in Egyptian, in their own books that they wrote back in that time period. The Egyptians felt like the whole Egyptian empire, they were the survivors of another empire and had migrated there.
right, but the how do I put this? That could literally have been from anywhere. It doesn't have to mean that it came from.
It could have been from the New World. It could have been from the Canary Islands. Hell, the Canary Islands could be Atlantis.
It could literally have been from the same ground they were walking on, just older.
Okay, I don't think so, but okay, I'm not going to argue that.
There's the old adage, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence.
Yeah,
and there's none.
Here's the problem with that, which is not necessarily false, but it goes back to what I just told you. If it happened more than 10,000 years ago, how can you prove it's anything? And if you go by extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, which means if you don't have evidence, then we're not even going to consider something being a thing.
And there literally is no evidence.
You're basically then saying that the vast majority of science as we know it, we need to go ahead and just disregard it because we have no evidence.
Well, evidence is
for anything that happened more than 10,000 years ago.
Right, and I'm okay with that because, the evidence that they bring forth is not evidence. It's or it's not proof. It's compelling evidence, but that could always be, showing something else and not what they want it to show. You know what I mean? There's no real evidence that you can take into a court of law. Otherwise, it would now have been codified as part of history. And yeah, I know the academics in those circles want the history to remain as it is, so they don't have to do any more work and they could just fall back on what they learned, 50, 60, 80 years ago, and that's just ingrained to them, and they're just going to keep it the status quo. But we're going to need some scientifically repeatable, provable evidence, not just see, the people that are doing the research are what I call fans. They want it to be true, and they can't accept that it's not. When you get people who want it to not be true telling me that it is true, then I'll take a listen. But everybody who claims to be researching these things have already made up their minds and can't be convinced otherwise, and need it to be true so that they didn't waste their lives on researching something that they could never prove, so they just turned it into a faith.
Well, what about a guy like me that just thinks it's interesting but don't really have a dog in the fight as far as whether it's true or not?
That's like me, it won't change,
and that I
my
just
life one way or the other.
Out that it could be though, and arguing that it could not under any circumstance be true is kind of wild because it actually could be true.
I've yet to see.
We will never have any way to prove yes or no.
Right. And in the meantime, I'm going to worry about my own backyard as opposed to something that happened 10,000 years ago. There's way more important things to worry about.
Oh,
Than,
Shadow. We're just
you
sitting
you live
here
in the
with a
free
couple
state
of-
of Florida. I live in the communist republic of California, Stan, and I
I
have
get
way
that,
more.
but I'm saying, bro, we're just sitting here shooting the shit.
I know.
We might as well be talking about Dark Sun. You know,
Exactly. That's why I did as much. Because I studied all this stuff for decades. I looked and looked and looked and looked, and when I went to the oldest of sources, uh, they quashed my hopes and dreams of it being a real thing. Because with just good old fashioned facts and words as written, there was nothing special about any of that, other than it was just a bunch of people who lived a long time ago.
you know,
And
I never actually went out of my way to research any of it.
from the time I was about 9 or 10, and I read my dad's copy of Chariots of the Gods, I started researching and looking into all that crap for decades, and um, it's like a vicious circle that just keeps feeding into itself. The more you look, the more you find wishful thinking and no actual, you know, artifacts. Nothing that it can prove one way or the other. And I mean, you could literally just make up a name of a place and say it existed, and 500 years from now, people will be taking it as real, like Dark Sun, and our our progeny, 500 years from now, are going to be thinking it's real. It's fun to speculate and to
So,
imagine
so
and to,
you believe though then that basically Socrates invented some shit, and then just over time it become the thing people believed.
Mhm. Let's put it this way: if you
I
go
mean,
and
you could be right.
if you read Plato's account of Atlantis, it was this giant nation, right? That was huge, but yet Athens defeated them militarily with nothing more than slings and bows and arrows and spears on both sides.
Well, I mean, Athens
They
was pretty badass.
right, but they were outnumbered literally like 1,000 to 1, and they still won.
And you have to remember that the Greeks are the greatest people ever. They invented everything and every religion
Right,
and blah
but
blah
even
blah.
even even
So,
in even
I
in
mean,
the time.
obviously the Greeks aren't going to lose. I mean, duh.
Well, no, because it was used as a the whole argument of Atlantis was used as a way to get the other people in his time to adhere to his ideology on how to make Greece even better, basing it on something that never happened, so that he could use that as an argument of why we should do this. Because once upon a time, we were outnumbered, but because of this ideology, we won against a like it would be like the equivalent of um, Bakersfield winning against the United States. All they had to do was just everybody take a step forward, and we suddenly cover the entire island of Greece. There's no
So
way you can
pretty
win.
much Socrates and Plato were just trying to make Greece great again.
Pretty much through telling of a tale that proved that his idea of how people should live was the way to go. And if we
Jimmy,
did,
I'm logging off literally in a minute.
yeah, go read the Timaeus or the Critias. Actually, the Critias. The Timaeus only mentions Atlantis once, but read the Critias. It's a short read, and you'll be like, yeah, this guy was full of shit. He was just making shit up.
You get ready for your show, homie.
Hope you can come by, and say hi.
Yeah, of
Jackie
course. I'll
should be
be
on the
on.
show. The link
And
is in
thank
my
you for the
Discord.
discussion. I
Always.
always love these. You and I have these deep discussions, and I like it. About
Me
like
too.
weird shit.
Me too.
Even though I don't know, what do you think? Am I just a natural freaking dreamer and optimist?
Well, there's nothing wrong with that because if it was true, it would make things awesome and more interesting, etc. But
But there's no way to prove it's true.
and I'd rather leave that to my RPG stuff, and the realist in me is like, well, let there's a lot of hungry people out there. Let's maybe work on
And
that,
that's
and
why
then
you should be playing Hyperborea 3rd Edition. Because all of the stuff we've been talking about could, in fact, be true. And you could have somebody in your campaign playing an Atlantean, or a Lemurian, or a man from you, or just an Eskimo.
I want to play a man from Uncle, if that's all right.
You're going to do what?
I want to play a man from Uncle.
The book says that things are constantly being shunted into the world from beyond the winds. So,
When was the last time you heard that reference, right?
the man from Uncle. Oh, geez, when I was like 14 and it used to come on in syndication. But anyway, peace and love, homie.
Merry Christmas. Give the wife a hug for me.
Oh, yeah, I hope you have a great Christmas.
I will.
I will.
Love you, bro.